Hello, everyone. How are we all doing? Are we all doing fine? It is the last episode of Season 2, Electric Boogaloo. I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has been supporting my Twitch channel since this all started, because obviously we've done Season 1, and Season 1 was amazing. Season 2 has just been even better, and it's just been so fantastic to have this many people on. A total of 28, and that's including this last episode, a total of 28 streams. That's 28 people I've had on stream chatting to me. That's obviously when I had the 601st, there were multiple people on that, and obviously we had some other groups as well. Who were the other ones? I had Sneaky Zebra, the Somerset Cosplayers. So it was really cool to have just a big, huge family of people on stream and everything. Right at the end, I have got some thanks that I'd like to give out and some things I'd like to sort out before we finish Season 2. But don't fret, Season 2 isn't going to be the complete end of all streams. It's just the end of the Q&A streams until next year, and then afterwards, obviously, I'll be continuing with some little streams, like hopefully some crafting streams and bits like that. The power shovel has been activated. Let me just grab that now. The power shovel has been activated. I need to put some batteries in it at some point during the stream. But honestly, thank you to everyone who has been supporting the streams, who've come to almost every stream, chilling out, and I'd also like to thank my mods. But I've got more thanks and stuff to do right at the very end. So for now, we are on the last episode of Season 2, Electric Boogaloo, and my guest tonight is one of 3 people who helped me get on and do the Iron Warrior and get the foam going, get the Pepper Cura going, and to learn so much before I could actually start doing what I actually do now. And honestly, I would call this man, I would bug him with messages at all hours of the morning. He probably hated me until I finally finished and built my space marine. He's like, thank God he's left me alone now. And then I bugged him for a commission. It's been fantastic. Right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the absolutely wonderful Dave Damon of Ultima Props. How are you, Damon?
Good evening. Hello.
How are you? I know COVID's a horrible thing, but how are you guys down there in old Exeter?
We are absolutely fine. Thank you very much. We're very lucky to be in the middle of absolute nowhere. That does explain why my internet is so pants, but it does mean we have, no neighbours to worry about, just plenty of open space and fields. So we are pretty good.
Good. Now, obviously, you say you had terrible internet. I suffered for 19 years, I think, or a bit less, 18 or 17 years, with less than a meg. That was good times. Times. Xbox Live was a nightmare. I had Xbox Live and I'd play with the guys and I would disconnect every 2 or 3 minutes. It was absolutely grim. But
I've only just recently started playing my Xbox again. Now I'm back on live. And now and again you'll just see me go,
I left the console generation. I was like, buy console generation, and built my PC, and I was like, that'll do. And then I built my second PC, and I've not looked back. I love it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely awesome. We have loads of people in chat. We've got both my mods, Dragonheart, Ranger of Krieg. We have Exeter Cosplay, Warp Raven, Nocturne's Forge. Everyone is in chat. Casual Props. Oh, I'm absolutely loving this. Pages Pooches, Pinkthorn. Welcome, everyone. I hope you're all having a good time. So, this man is one of 3 people, who helped me get on and start actually doing cosplay when it came to foam work. Because obviously,
what have I done?
We all know. Yeah, what have you done? This is what you've created. It's obviously, everyone knows it started off with my friend Marcus Belden Smith, who got me into steampunk, and then obviously I went solo and did the Ghostbuster and so on. But when it came to the actual foam work, obviously you guys know I met Exeter Cosplay, David Roth at Cardiff, and then it sort of blew up from there. But where exactly did you and I sort of kick off? Because I know I met you when we were with David Roth, I think. I was hanging out with David Roth because it was at London, if I'm right in saying. And you were wearing the big old shiny boy.
Yep.
You were wearing the big old shiny boy behind me.
To be fair, to premiere walking it in London was a bit much, but it was fun.
You were drenched in sweat. You were absolutely drenched in sweat.
You know what that thing's like. It's pretty warm. And never having been in it walking properly, the whole time of making it. So you did a stellar job keeping me from kicking any small people. That wearing that is anyone below 6 feet.
It was a bit of a challenge. Not so much keeping you from kicking people, but just keeping people out of your way. It's do you know what's really funny? Obviously David in chat as well can probably obviously vouch for this. But people see a really big costume coming, and they stand in the way. It's like jumping on railroad tracks and watching a train come. It's like, oh look, there's a train coming, and just not moving.
No.
It's just like, what are you doing?
The thing is with that one, it's because it's proportionally scaled up, so it's wider and deeper than a lot of others. Once you pick up speed, you can't just stop. you just keep going.
You can't stop on a dime.
No, you can't. And if anyone's in the way, they go flying.
It's like a plane coming in for landing. It slows down gradually. It needs a runway to sort of slow down. Oh man.
Yeah.
But also, just before we continue, though, obviously, I have a little thing I need to do. I want to give Tom a massive happy birthday on stream. The lovely Tom from the 601st. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Hopefully it's been a good one during quarantine. But I saw your lovely video earlier of that amazing gift you got. So that's absolutely wonderful. So massive happy birthday to Tom of the 601st. There, the absolute legend himself. So I just wanted to make sure that you knew that I knew, and I wanted to give you a happy birthday. So awesome, especially on stream. So have an absolutely amazing day. Level up day, as they say, is what Raven's saying. So with that, obviously meeting you at London, when you got out of your Grey Knight, obviously we went over and it was all piled on the side next to the stage, and I went over and had a look at it, and I was just blown away by the size of the thing. It was so awesome because I'd already met David and everything, and I was like, David was big enough. But obviously, as you said, the proportions are so much bigger. It's a Terminator for starters. And for those people who know Warhammer 40k, a Terminator is basically just a massive version of a Space Marine. It's like even bigger than Space Marine power armor. Funnily enough, I can fit my shin and knee into the shin of the Grey Knight, so I can fit the Iron Warrior inside the Grey Knight, which is absolutely hilarious.
I am so pleased.
It's so funny because I was literally moving stuff, and I was like, where can I put the? Literally just slot them in and just put stuff inside the shins, and I was like, that's awesome. It's got storage for days.
Comes with storage.
It comes with storage.
I remember Dave was there for this one as well. We went to EGX, I think it was one of the games conventions, and we were both walking around in the Space Marines, and they were just basically plying us with as much energy drink as you could consume and more, which was good. It kept us going, but actually we were getting all sorts of free gifts and bits, like all sorts of stuff you get, and we just finished, and I was going to the end, and it's the only time. But basically, I got to the exit for EGX at Birmingham, NEC Birmingham. And as I went to leave, I kind of turned on the spot, and the bottom of my boot took the mat.
Oh,
yeah. And I went down. Everyone else basically saw this giant Grey Knight Space Marine fall over and then explode with loot. Out of all my orifice, bits of EGX loot were just falling out everywhere.
Oh, man alive. Brother, I have fallen. Grabs gun.
Grabs EGX goodies from the legs and the feet. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Must have been a sight to see.
EGX was amazing until he bombed, wiped out. I thought he died. Oh, God, no. God, no. Also,
I was uninjured.
Cosplay, if you want to go grab that picture, because Extra Cosplay has just said he lost an arm. Outside, and Magsy brought it back to me in the Olympia. Lol, classic photo of me having a power wank with his arm.
I mean, it wasn't indeed a giant power wank, obviously.
It was really funny because he put the arm on, and I went to grab his glove, and we put his glove on. He was holding his phone, and put his glove on him, and he had the red claw and your arm, and it was just like,
Yep. Like, how on earth that fell out of the van, I dread to think. But we were getting into a lot of trouble because I did ask when we arrived. It's a big seat; you can't just walk through the front door with it.
God no.
So we asked if we can just drop it off in the morning and then pick it up when we leave. But some of the security at London were a little bit fussy about me picking up the stuff. And they just went, no, sorry, you can't stop here at all. And we're like, it's going to take 10 seconds. And they went, no, and started to get the notebook out. So we just legged it off around the corner in the van. And somewhere, one of the arms fell out. Halfway home, I get a message from Dave going, I think you've left something. And there it is.
And the literal power wank picture, that was fucking hilarious because we were all in there, like we were all there, like just like ha ha ha. So I literally took it. I literally took it.
You took it, yeah. I mean, how does that fall out without you noticing?
I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea because
Nah.
I mean, Ranger Creek Cosplay knows of everything. Like we shove everything into my van, but we try to make sure it's all there. I don't think I've forgotten anything yet. I don't think I've forgotten anything yet. I hope not. I might get yelled at in the chat like, "Oh, you forgot this that one time." Like shit. But
no, I think it was because we were all just bundled in the van, sort of drive off.
Your wonderful little green van that you had. I loved that van. That was awesome.
It was good.
That was a great little van. That thing had been everywhere. My God, that thing was a monster. I love that
van. Yeah, we did well with that one.
That was a good van. Obviously with us meeting at London and us getting to know each other, and obviously Dave introducing us to everything, a friendship blossomed. And I proceeded to constantly bother you with messages about Pepakura mostly, if I remember right. It was like I
just scale this. How do you do this?
This man taught me how to split a whole file apart. He told me how to take a file, split it, and then he taught me how to do this and like the angles and stuff. And I would bother him so much with like, why aren't these pieces connecting together? And you're like, because it needs this, and this. And I'm like, God damn it. You would regularly just take a file from me, do it, and then send it back within seconds.
Send it back. It's easier than trying to explain every time. But then, so there was that, which was good, because I was kind of learning as well, so it helped.
I love that. You were saying you were kind of learning. You had a grey knight, and you were just like, I was kind of learning. Just a full-size grey knight. No, I was kind of learning.
Well, obviously, I 3D modeled that one myself, this grey knight, because no one else had one. I mean, I know there has been a few since. There's one chap who's done this incredible fiberglass one, which is beautiful. But that didn't even exist when I made this.
Fiberglass. Oh, yeah. Live Action Pixel in chat. How the hell are you, Live Action Pixel? Welcome. The Modern Scold is here. Everyone is here. I love it. We've got 20 lovely viewers to come see the last of Season 2 Electric Boogaloo. For those of you who've just joined, this is the wonderful Dave Damon of Ultima Props. We've known each other, I think we've known each other about as long as me and David have known each other. I think maybe
Pretty much. Yeah, it's been a good number of years now.
For those of you who are on my actual Facebook, not my cosplay page, but those of you on my actual Facebook, you would have seen a video of me with a flamethrower at Dave's house cooking marshmallows on a huge on a huge, like, we had the sticks hanging off the edge of the barbecue, burning it with Rammstein playing because it's appropriate.
I mean, how else do you do marshmallows? But with a flamethrower, of course.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you? I mean, we even got your enormous TV out and put it outside and listened to jams all night. Because living in the middle of nowhere, like we do here, you could just play music as loud as you like and it doesn't bother anyone. It's absolutely wonderful.
Because I know we were listening to some kind of Harry Potter remix, weren't we? At almost 2 o'clock in the morning.
I've still got that remix on my playlist.
Yeah, so have I. It's so good.
Night. It's such a good remix. I love that.
Just 2 o'clock in the morning, dancing around the fields. It's just no one here. It's great.
It was so much fun. And also, I'd like to say thank you so much for wearing my merch. You got my T-shirt on. Look at that. That's legendary. Awesome.
Why would I not?
I love that T-shirt. It's so
I've been trying to save it from the cats today.
Oh no, cats! Cats are gonna go all over it. No, they'll just have furry all over.
2 of them are okay. One of them is just a giant ball of fluff
and just molts everywhere.
Molts everywhere, and he's super affectionate as well, which is kind of great, but not when you're trying to keep yourself, hairless within reason.
Oh, I love this. I love it.
Then,
Hey, Simon Green is here, fellow Ghostbuster, actual legend. Simon the Green, absolutely awesome.
You you turned up once, didn't you? Out at my work, stayed over for a few days, and kind of used the workshop and.
Yeah, actually, yeah. You're funny. You should mention that. Actually, yeah, because we used your workshop. There's a really funny video of me on one of the PCs, and you're over there doing your thing. Yeah. And I send you a message saying hi, and I just look over, and you just go. And look over at me really? Did you send me hi from across the room, literally next to him? It was so much fun.
Yeah, yes, you did.
So many really funny videos from that. But yeah, that video again, it's where we sort of, it's where I first slightly detailed the Iron Warrior and then started Thompson's 10-year roof sealing it because we built the arms in your workshop. I know that much. Built the arms in your workshop, and then you also helped me modify. The neck piece, the actual collar, because I didn't have that. You know, the insert that I didn't print it out. It was the one thing I didn't print out, and we went and printed it out again, and I cut it out and stuck it together. I thought my Pepper Cura days were over after I built the marine, but you were like, no, we got to have this one piece. I'm like,
gotta do this bit as well. Come on,
3 sheets of A4 and cutting it out and taping it together.
I remember being there,
and we did the collar
really late. Just all sat around the table, weren't we? Just kind of like stuffing fish and chips on our faces, just going, "Oh God, right, come on, more cutting, more foam, more plans."
There is an awesome, there's an awesome picture of you, me, and David sat around a table with fish and chips, all like that. Then we finished that for the night. Everyone went home, and I was staying in the workshop that night, and it was so cold. Oh, it was so cold. I was staying in the workshop that night. And you and I stayed up until 4 a.m. building a helmet.
Yeah, probably. It sounds like something we
my
would do.
first ever helmet. And then after we built it, it was like, oh, this looks really good. This is awesome.
Too small.
It was like a little bit too small, and then it would eventually go on. It was like, and that was cool. I put lenses in it, and then the lenses would literally sit on your eyes, and it was like, this is too small. But at least it's a helmet, and I was really happy with it. So, I still have that helmet, by the way. I still have that helmet.
I mean, to be fair, every helmet that I make that I'm not happy with or is too small, I gave it to Extra Cosplay, who mutilates it in some way.
Or like for example, there's this Batman helmet I think he had with a skull.
That's a classic.
That's literally the one we were talking about the other night. We've spoken about it on his stream and the birthday stream. Oh my God! He got so much shade for it. He got so much shade for it.
I think it was. I think he came on. I think he must have come on just after me because I came on as Batman. I'm like, Batman, I am the Knight and all.
Yeah.
Walked off. And then a few minutes later, he stomps on and just brings up my head with a skull in it on a chain and was just like rocking it in front of everybody.
Did he get booed? He's in chat. Did you get booed? I swear you said you got booed. Also,
I don't know if he got booed.
There's somebody in chat. There's somebody in chat called Jay Kennedy. I'm not sure who that is. It says, "I'm watching."
Oh, I can't imagine who that would be.
I can't imagine who that would be. But honestly. I love that Batman skull. The modern Scold says I love that Batman skull. Just inside the helmet. It's so cool. Yeah. It's actually awesome. But he got so much shade for that. That was absolutely awesome. Because you've done several cosplays. Do you know what we'll do, right? I love doing this little intro thing where we chat and sort of catch up and everything. We could probably talk for ages, but I know I've got questions for you as well.
Okay.
But we also have the Grey Knight to talk about. Because I can't not talk about the Grey Knight. This legend here. Actually, no. Let me start that off again. Actually, this silly bastard here.
That's more like it. Yeah.
Send me a picture of the Grey Knight, right, in his workshop, just piled on top of itself with just dust covering it, and was just like, "I'm gonna throw it in the skip." To whereas I replied, I think in all capitals, and like broke my phone screen from typing so quickly. Just being like, don't you dare get rid of it, I swear to God. So
I will drive down and slap you or something along those lines.
I will drive down there and I swear to God. But it actually happened. I drove from Wales all the way down to Exeter to rescue the Grey Knight from a skip. It wasn't in the skip, it was in his workshop, but we did have to do some bits to it before we left, which was take the stilts out of it, They had to take the
still
stilts
haven't
out of it,
prepared
which
yet.
you've done, and we had to mostly get all the dust off it. I did rub it down with like a wet towel or like a thing just to bring all the dust off it. Paige's Pooches said, "What a mad lad, mad lad, mad lad."
Well, pretty much everything I make, especially for myself, all my Batman ended up in the skip.
Yeah, that was
Green
really sad to see. That Batman was awesome.
Green Ranger ended up in the skip.
Yeah. Oh man, when your Green Ranger went in the
it.
skip, you have no idea. That was heartbreaking because I loved that cosplay. It was such a nice cosplay. You wore that at Sci-Fi Weekender.
Yeah, I did.
Well,
Well, I kind of only made it in 2 weeks, so looking back at it, it was a little bit rough, and I'm like,
man, like, oh yeah. That's when Exeter Cosplay signed the boot. He in one of the boots has a gold Sharpie on it, and written on the back is Exeter Cosplay was here.
Was here. I think one of those boots has got Andy written on the bottom of it from when I fell over.
Just
hit
really
him and
funny.
saw it again.
I checked and it doesn't. It's worn off.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's worn
it
off.
used to.
Really funny. I laser stenciled Andy in the actual text from the movie, like Andy, and sprayed it black on the bottom of my Iron Warrior because I was going to a con where a friend of mine was dressed up as Buzz Lightyear for the first time, and I went over and I grabbed onto a friend of mine, lifted my leg, and he was like, "It says Andy," and I was like, "Yeah." one event, I walked around the entire event, walked in the car park and stuff, came back up, it was gone. The spray paint was rubbed off. It was just gone. And I was like,
I'm not surprised it's not there, but after falling over, I was like, you know what? In case it ever happens again.
Oh yeah, because obviously when you took a tumble, you didn't break anything though, did you?
Nope.
Not on you.
No damage at all.
I know you didn't get hurt, but the suit didn't really take any damage either, which was
no
awesome.
damage at all.
Shows
I think there was maybe
properly put together.
I think the only damage that happened is one of the wing nuts came off.
Oh yeah.
And there's just like that's a few little scrapes just down the side, but that was about it. I think.
That thing's a tough old beast. Don't get me wrong. I have done a little bit of work to it. I've not done a lot, but I've done some work to it. I've sanded it and bits and bobs and repainted. Thing is, though, I cannot get any silver to match with the silver you've used on the Grey Knight. So repainting it is a real bastard right now. Not repainting the whole thing, but the bit that I have to like sand down and like, if there's like some damage, I'll sand it down. Do some filler. I'm
pretty sure.
Go to spray it, and I haven't got the right color.
I'm pretty sure it was Halford's wheel steel, and I have a can of it. If you want me to go and get it for you after.
If you could link it to me, because I could go to Halford's at some point and get some and test it out to see if it matches.
Yeah,
but
I'm pretty sure it's wheel steel.
But I tell you this, we've spoken a bit about the Grey Knight. Oh, also we'll get back to the Grey Knight in a second, but. For the chat, there's 21 people in the chat, okay? And this is gonna make the chat go nuts, and I love this. I cannot wait for the chat to just listen to this. Do you guys want to know what Dave Damon did for me as a cosplayer? I'll tell you what he did for me. This man introduced me to Thompson's 10-year roof sealer, the mad lad himself, the man who literally started this all. He was just like, oh man, you need a rubber-based like sealant for your Space Marine? Here you go. Thompson's 10-year roof sealant. I was like, okay. And it is honestly the best thing he's ever introduced me to, because that stuff just works, man. It just works. Ranger of Creek Cosplay, so he's to blame. Oh, awesome. Wheel steel. Okay. Right.
It's handy having Jay Kennedy on the stream because you went and got
I was trying to pick that up. I did wonder when you said it was like over there and suddenly you had it. I was like, what the hell? But honestly, send me a picture of it, send me a link to it, just send me all the info for it so I can make sure I get some, because I need to, there's some bits on this I've sanded and like filled and sanded and just made sure it's like a bit more smoother, and then need to respray.
2 coats of that.
Loads of people. Ranger of Creek Cosplay.
Sorry.
Ranger of Creek Cosplay is saying like, so he's to blame. So you're the one to blame for the endorsement. Yahoo! Thompson Tanny Roof Sealer, and now we have shares. You should
have got sponsorship for that, because
Oh man, it would have been so funny. The amount of people I've turned on to that, thanks to you. Like you turned me on to it. It was like, here you go, use this stuff, and then I passed it on to so many other people. What's really funny though is I can't tell any Americans to buy it because they can't get it in the US.
No, there must be some kind of rubber-based roof.
There must be something that's like it, but I don't think, Does he work for them? Yeah, do you work for Thompson's? Do you work for...
I thought you were for a while, but,
Honestly, I can't tell
Nearly
you
every post.
I can't tell you how happy I am with that stuff because it. You know when you have like a prop, like for example a Space Marine helmet, okay? You goes down. You have the lines where you've joined together all of the the pieces that go back on the helmet and everything. You sand them down. You use some sealer. You sand them down. You sort of fill them. You sand them. Sort of try to get them as smooth as you can, so it's as seamless as possible. Not always. I didn't really start off like that, and we'll speak about that in a bit. When you've got that, and you have these little tiny, if there's like a tiny sliver of a gap that you can't quite fill with like caulking or something, roof sealer, oh my god, you just paint it on and it fills everything. It's it's so wonderful. And what I've discovered recently is I paint it on with a brush, and to get rid of the brush marks, I use a roller now. No, I don't dip the roller in the paint. I use a dry roller, and I'll just go over it. Not only does it give it a texture, but it gets rid of all the brush lines.
You can also use just literally drops of water.
Oh, yeah.
Just a tiny bit of water, and that'll smooth it all off for you.
And it's hilarious. I have had several people tell me, it's like, oh, what? So in 10 years now, you're going to have to repaint it? And I'm like, it's fun.
Ask Extra Cosplay how often he has to paint his.
I think, it's really funny because there was a picture back when I first met David. Obviously, the years went on and things happened to Big Red, and he had to repaint and respray him and stuff. When you look now at a picture of like Big Red before, and it was all maroon and like really cool, like maroon and dark red, and then you look at it now, and it's so many different shades of red. So I've literally been like, 50 shades of red.
50 shades of red.
I love it though. It looks so cool with all the different colors, like all the different shades of red all over it. It looks really, really cool. I absolutely love it. Yeah, exactly. Like halfway there. Well, not almost. 4 years old. Give it another year, and we'll be halfway there. But he's 4 at the moment. That was another thing. The Iron Warrior was 4 years old the other day.
I know. Well, happy birthday to Iron Warrior, eh?
It's Saturday, and then technically it was on the Sunday, but the reason I did it on the Saturday is because I didn't want to do a Sunday stream because people have work on Monday. But it is insane that it's been 4 years. Like, it's madness. And the upgrades I've done to him though. The upgrades I've done to him is mental. But before we do get to the upgrades I did in the Iron Warrior, though, back to the Grey Knight. There are things on the Grey Knight that made me die of laughter. There was so much stuff on the Grey Knight that I thought was amazing. Because when I met this lad, we were in London, and I was just like, oh, wow, look, you've got the blade and the book. And he went over and he was like, yeah, do you want to know what's really cool about the book? I'm like, what? He goes, it's a year diary. In the UK, you have these planners, like 2012, 2013, you buy the diaries. It's one of them just opened up and put onto the shoulder. The shoulder weighs more than my entire leg.
Pretty much. I mean, at least I did print off a front page to it, and then sort of keep that on.
Printout. Yeah, I've really weathered that a little bit, but I might need to sort that out at some point. But it looks so good, though. It's so good. I mean, I could grab it, actually. Do you know what? Let me grab it. Why not? It's right here. Literally right here, for everyone to see. There it is. I did take the knife off and repaint the knife because the book started coming off, so I had to repair the book. I've done some minor repairs to this shoulder. But that's an actual diary, people. That's an actual book. That's a legitimate, actual... And it's got most of its pages. And if you open it at the very top, if you bend the top down, it's 2016. It's a 2016 journal, for everyone who wants to know. It's a 2016 journal. And it's an awesome piece. It's such an awesome shoulder. And that's just the shoulder.
I will make another one day. Something better.
I am looking forward to it because, honestly, when this thing is done and I'm walking around in it, I want to come down to Exeter and just be like, here you go, Dave. Look, he's back up and running and he's back and doing his thing.
Not in the skip.
And not in the skip. I wanted to save him. Because, honestly, he's just... he's so cool. I really, really enjoy it.
I'm glad he's gone to a good home anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. He's not going anywhere now. He's going to be, I'm going to try to keep him as long as I can. Same with the Iron Warrior and stuff. It's just, people have been like, oh, you're building another one, I'm like, well, I can't. I physically don't have the space to build another one. So, if at some point the Grey Knight does find a new home, it'll be forever. forever before I even need to do that, if I need to do that. And I hope I don't. I hope I just get a bigger place so I can build more Space Marines. Because I'd love to do like Tony Stark. I'd love to have just multiple suits.
A wall of Space Marines.
Just a wall of suits. That'd be really, really cool. Like David has, except like a wall, but instead with David, you walk down, you're like, Big Red, walk upstairs. Night Lord, walk upstairs. Darth Vader, walk upstairs. It's like multiple different, like... I'm
trying to remember who it was that said it, but I know I did a Q&A before, and one of the cosplayers basically said, cosplay is like a gas. It will always expand to fill the area that you have. And I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. So now I've got more space, and obviously I've got an even bigger workshop next door.
You do now, don't you? You have a massive workshop now.
And I'm like, now that's full of stuff. And I'm like, I'm sure I didn't have this much stuff. Where does it all come from?
Dude, we have a 3-bay workshop. A 3-bay workshop, right? It's full already.
Yeah.
It's madness how full it gets. It's insane. Also, can I just say, we have just been told, I've just been told in chat, you guys are second on the just recommended. On the just chatting. So on the recommended, when you go into Twitch on the recommended, it's Iron Warrior Cosplay. Woo! Recommended!
Nice.
Awesome.
Well done,
Thank you so much. Who said that? Let's see, where are we? Who said that? I'm not sure. KVB110. That's awesome. KVB1010. Thank you so much. That's absolutely awesome. Thank you.
Cool to know.
Awesome. I love this. Also, we have had some Necrons in the chat. We get some Necrons in chat every now and again. The mods have to take care of them.
Ooh.
Buy viewers. I don't want to buy viewers. I'm on the recommended. I'm good, thanks. We have 28 viewers. Can I just say, 28 viewers? We're breaching Evil Ted territory here. Can I just say, this is brilliant. And this man, just before the start of the stream, he's like, oh, you must be scraping the bottom of the barrel with me. And I'm like, bruh, 28 viewers? Come on. Honestly. Like, back to the Grey Knight, the first thing I did when I got him home, not the next day, I took the Grey Knight out of the van, I put him in the workshop. The first thing I did was get a drill with a little Phillips bit on it. And I unscrewed.
I know what's coming.
I unscrewed the piece of wood that you had, a square of wood. I had to get it out. It was insane. I was like, why?
Well,
why is this here?
The reason behind it was, as you know, those shoulders are pretty heavy.
Yes.
Probably because they've got actual books attached to them. Probably doesn't help. A little bit. And obviously, when those shoulders were put on, it made the torso bit bend, sort of curl up by the neck. So I thought, well, I'm running out of time. Bear in mind, you know, LFCC was coming up, and I'm like, right, what do I have to hand? You've been to the workshop I used to have, and I'm like, I got crap loads of wood. Right, screw it, wood. That's why I got mocked repeatedly for that. But it worked.
But your shoulders got so bruised. You showed me pictures of your shoulders after London. I was like, oh, man alive. Also, can one of my mods be absolutely legendary? Can you guys go to the front of Twitch and just grab a screenshot of it? Because apparently we're second only to Markiplier, which is, like, we're right below Markiplier. So this is madness.
Markiplier.
This is absolutely, this is brilliant. I'm blown away right now. Markiplier is amazing, but holy crap, like, we're literally below Markiplier in the recommended. This is so cool. Right.
I can just hear a voice coming from the far end of the house going,
Markiplier. But anyway, yeah, that piece of wood, my God. But it was the first thing to come out. It was the first thing to come out. I'm replacing it with aluminium. The same system I've got inside the Iron Warrior, which is like a braces system. There's like it curves like that, and then there's blocks of foam filled in, and it's going to get bolted together, so it's nice. And then the shoulders are going to be supported from that. Then that's what I'm planning to do anyway. So,
I mean, I know you've seen pictures of the next one I'm going to do when I get around to doing it. It's that Black Empress Champion one, but he's not so big. I've started it. I just haven't got very far.
My mods have just sent me the picture. We are absolutely on the front. That's brilliant. Thank you so
Insane.
much. And also, can I just say thank you so much, KVB110. Thank you so much for bringing that to my attention. This is awesome. Obviously, KVB110 has just joined probably because of that. That's absolutely awesome. We are cosplayers. I'm a cosplayer. I cosplay an Iron Warrior Space Marine from Warhammer 40k. This man here used to cosplay as a Grey Knight Terminator from Warhammer 40k. He now cosplays a plethora of different things. It's absolutely awesome. You've done Batman, you've done the Green Power Ranger.
Custom one as well.
You've done Star Trek, but you also did Clark Kent with your shirt ripped open with the glasses.
Yeah. I needed something, just to throw on.
That was absolutely awesome, though.
I've got a photo of me somewhere.
KVB110, thank you so much for the follow. I really, really appreciate that.
I've got a photo somewhere where I've got my custom Green Ranger helmet on and pulling my shirt apart as well.
You still have the helmet, don't you? The Green Ranger helmet.
Yeah, it's in the car, probably in 3 pieses.
Do you also have the sword with it?
Yeah, but
awesome.
Again, I don't like it, so.
Well, it's still
thrown
awesome.
in a box next door.
It's still awesome.
But again, it was a custom-made thing, with the the heavy armor Power Ranger. I made it in 2 weeks, and that's obviously a complete custom design one as well. So no one else has got one like it, and the helmet was all sculpted.
That's the thing, and also the fact that it goes together and it magnetizes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's what was really cool. Seeing that, it's so cool. It's absolutely legendary. This is awesome. I can't believe it. This is brilliant. I'm absolutely blown away. The proper nice last stream, like a season 2. This is absolutely fantastic. You guys are going to get away more viewers soon. Thank you so much, KVB. Thank you. There it is. Yes, that is a legendary photo. That is a legendary photo.
Incognito and all.
It is an awesome cosplay. There's also one of you, I think, at Sci-Fi Weekender with the Clark Kent glasses on and your hair done as well, doing the same thing with the shirt and tie.
I think I know I shared it the other day, but I think one of my favorite pictures that I've got is this one from DevCon.
That one's an awesome one. That is absolutely
you can see
brilliant.
it, but
you can see Exeter Cosplay there about to do battle with Batman holding a Buster sword.
I mean,
man,
one of the many reasons I love cosplay is just because where else would you get to do crazy things like that?
That picture always makes me smile. That
blurry,
picture. Are these on just on your phone, or are they on your? Does the Grey Knight cosplay, does that still exist?
I don't know.
Because if it is, I swear you could grab the pictures from there. If we could send one of my mods to the page. Let me know if it still exists. Obviously, if not, we can obviously throw a bunch of cool stuff on there. The big sword. Oh yeah, it was an Assassin's Creed backdrop. That's what that was. The one you guys did. That big clock tower. That was absolutely awesome. That was brilliant.
I mean, I can always upload a bunch of these to my to the new page, but obviously now
you've got Instagram as well. Obviously, Dave does have Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, Ranger of Krieg, he's got it there. Ultima Props, absolutely legendary. But yeah, that's the Grey Knight. I mean, that thing's legendary. Obviously, with the platforms I'm going to put in it, and I'm doing some modifications to the chest and things like that, it's not that much work. But the one thing that I'm having so much trouble with is when you put the helmet on, you can't see anything.
No, I know.
So I'm trying to figure out a way of being able to see that's subtle enough that I don't change the helmet too much. But it is a bit of a thing. So I'm sort of right now working on, when I'm walking around, the helmet will be off, and then when it's like stop, get pictures, Harry will come over and slot it on, and then I'll just wear the helmet.
The thing is, something came up the other day, an old Halloween cosplay, and it's a lot easier to do now than it was. But actually, you can get a phone, a real cheap phone that costs practically nothing, mount it on the inside, and link it to another phone out the front.
See, that a lot of people. I mean, because David Roth did that, didn't he? And also, Carnifos is saying internal screen plus a helmet-mounted camera. David Roth did it, and I think also Terry from B Cosplay and his big Terminator has done it as well. Oh yeah, that's
insane.
I think he's done it as well. I mean, I've heard good and bad things. I mean, I've heard some people say it lags too much. I've heard some people say you can only see like X amount. You can't really when you look. I mean,
That's
obviously
still an improvement on what you can see anyway.
With the Grey Knight, though, you can't exactly look down because the helmet and the chest are there. It's sort of, and then you've got the things both sides, so you can't really move your head. But it works. It works. But I will have to work that out as I go. There's a lot of stuff I need to work out on this thing. But right now, obviously, I've got that the sword that myself and Nocturne's Forge made at his place one weekend. The cross guard I can't hold with the Space Marine's arm right now because the cross guard is in the way. So, well, it's either the cross guard's in the way or the arm is too big. I don't know, but either way, it's something I've got to work around and something I've got to figure out as well, which is not a huge issue. With the Grey Knight, though, he's in good hands. And I'm going to look after him, and he will be back up and running by next year. I've properly said this is going to happen. Found a Dovrig in his Ghostbuster. Oh, Ultima Props. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. That was something I randomly sent to you, wasn't it?
In the chat. Oh, my God. This is awesome.
That was the Proton stream I did for you, wasn't it?
Oh, that was absolutely legendary. You did such a good edit with that. I was blown away by that edit. Holy crap.
Oh, well.
Oh, yeah, also, yeah, Jackie Kennedy is Zool. That was really, really fun. That was absolutely so much fun. I loved that.
I don't know if you can see that. With Skyrim.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and you've done a Skyrim, yeah. There's so many you've done. I keep forgetting how many cosplays you've done altogether.
Guess where that one ended up?
Is it like about yay big, made of metal, and a truck comes to pick it up and put it? Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
God, it's so sad to see so many cosplays go to the. I have not thrown away one cosplay. I think I've still got. Can we get some skips in chat? Can we get some skips in chat? I don't think I've thrown a single cosplay away. Not a cosplay. I've thrown like shitty costumes away, but not a costume. Like. Madness. Warp Raven, no, why? Oh, I know. This man's an absolute mad lad. He is an absolute mad lad. But I tell you what, he can 3D print like the best of them. You 3D print like a crazy man. You were the creator behind the legendary big ass power fist that I've now got. The fingers, by the way. Honest to God, how many times did you need to check the fingers? Because you were like, wait, I've done this one, but there's a problem. And I was like, what? I was like, I didn't print it the right size. So all two of the fingers were level. You were like,
oh, God.
Are you getting flashbacks? Are you getting PTSD? Is it like,
I'm going to start shaking in a minute.
Is it like a Vietnam flashback? That fucking power fist.
I mean, learning what I did from when I did it the first time, I would make adjustments to it, and it'd be so much easier the second time round. It's still going to be an arse. It will always be an arse to do, but at least I think I can do it differently so it'll print stronger, more rigid, and, function better than it did.
Well, you say that, right? The functionality of it, the actual functionality, the actual way the fingers move is fine. Obviously, I know one of the bungee cords I needed to replace because it snapped, but other than that, they all work fine. The whole path, there's nothing wrong with it. The only thing that I genuinely had to change in the sake of saving my hand was the two white pieces that sat here. Yeah. Where you strapped it up, because Harry's going to get PTSD from this now. We were at Warhammer Fest and I lost feeling in these three fingers. And I completely lost all feeling in my hand. And I was just like, oh, good God. So we had to go back and take the power fist off. But when I got home, I've changed it. I think I've told you the changes I've done, haven't I? With the extra extra webbing that goes at the top now, as well as the two and the third one that's on my hand. I've done that. But other than that, the thing's amazing. The whole thing goes together so nicely. Like the way the hand slots in, the fact that you've done it so the hand comes out of the body, so you can do maintenance on just the hand, so you don't have to work inside the body. That's not that there's not enough room in the body. The body's huge.
It's pretty big, so you got room. But
it's still you've seen it. You've been like, he might need to do maintenance on this. You've taken it out, and it's so solid. But you should see how I look after it. It has its own crate. It has its own big black wheelie crate. The whole the fingers, everything's covered in bubble wrap except for the body and stuff. But the only thing I did for it was I made that tube for it. You know, the power tube? I told you
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
do that because I already had the dowel. I had the dowel ready to go. That big fucking...
I wasn't sure how long to make it, so
Yeah, exactly.
you said,
Well,
I've already
don't
got
get me
it,
wrong.
so...
You say that, neither did I, because I made one that was about this long, and it went to the backpack. But every time I would move my arm, it would come out of the backpack. So I ended up shortening it and making it go straight into the elbow, and now it just stays there. So
do you remember what happened to the first one I made? The first body? I filmed you. I was like,
yes.
It was over there, and I'm so sick to this thing. I'm just going to put it on the floor and jump on it until it's dead.
Yep. You literally made the body. It was a good body. Don't get me wrong. It worked really well, but you weren't happy with it. You were just and this man is a perfectionist in a good way, genuinely. Like I've seen you take a prop and been like, I'm not happy with it. Yeet it and then just make a new one. It's just like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But honestly, like you 3D printed me a bunch of purity seals as well. You've done a bunch of purity seals for the Iron Warrior. You even designed the Iron Warrior logo on the purity seal.
I did,
which was even better. And I've got a bunch of those laying around still. I put so many on the actual suit, and I've sort of interchanged them and moved them around and put them in different places.
I remember when you were over next doors, I was teaching you how to use SketchUp, wasn't I?
Yep.
To make your own sort of logo that way.
Learning how to do SketchUp was a lot of fun. I actually need to re-download SketchUp. I actually don't have SketchUp, but I'm getting notifications. Hey, I got a new subscriber on YouTube. Thank you so much. With the Power Fist and everything though, it is now brilliant. Like it's.
Oh, you've worked hard on it as well, so.
Oh yeah, but don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. We both said that there would be like some tweaks and changes that were going to happen. I mean, it's cosplay. It all nothing is ever, especially something with that many moving parts. My God, the amount. But now though, I take it to con. I can slap it on, put the LEDs in it. The LEDs in the eyes now. The LEDs light up, and boom, I'm away. Like it works brilliantly. I've rolled dice with it. I've picked stuff up. I've thrown stuff. I've fist bumped a bunch of people. It works really well.
Brilliant. I mean, the photos that you always put up always look incredible. So it's done its job.
It has done its job. It is and also, yeah, we discussed at great length what color to make the Power Fist, and I think we both decided that red would be best because honestly, in the picture, obviously with Ranger of Krieg and Dragonheart will know this. My favorite picture is one Richard Burge took of me, which is actually on your T-shirt. The actual photo you've got there on your T-shirt, it's my favorite photo because the Power Fist is just there, and the red, the grey of the suit, the hazard stripes, and then the green grass in the background, and it just looks so good in red. And I'm really happy we went with red because originally it was going to be the same color as the suit, and it just would have blended in.
Yeah.
Like it would have been like
post-box red.
Yeah, post-box red. It's actually post-box red. Same color as my van, which is hilarious. Which is absolutely brilliant. I love it. It's the same color as my van. One of us. We are our own worst enemy. Yes, we are. Sometimes. Right, so let's get to the cosplay questions. We have been going for some time now, but let's get to the cosplay questions. How long have you been cosplaying, Mr. Dave Damon of Ultima Props?
About 6 years.
See, that's good. I thought it would have been a lot longer.
Because literally, I went to an LFCC. Was the first ever con I went to, and then after that, I went to an EGX a few months later, and a bunch of people were saying, "Oh, I saw the cosplays," and even though I've been making costumes now and again for like parties and stuff, it was never a proper thing. Because
you make costumes for your kids as well, quite high detailed, like really high quality like costumes for your kids. Whereas most parents will go out and just buy them something really cheap. I'm gonna make something like. I
sent my eldest into school for her Romans week wearing full plastiso kind of Roman centurion armor, full size for her, shield, sword, the whole lot.
So brilliant.
And it was kind of like 5mm Fomex, all heat molded and stuff and sprayed up, all with the proper joints in it, so it all kind of moved as she walked around and she marched. I got her, I think it was my dad's. He had a plain red T-shirt, but on her it worked more like
Oh yeah.
like a knee length skirt
And then
thing for her,
you wear like
and
the
then
belt
put
braces
everything
and
else.
everything with it, and then it looks yeah,
Yep.
that's awesome.
So everyone else went in wearing like togas and whatever else they could have, and she just stormed in, drew her sword, and I was like, "Yep, I'm a boss."
Yeah, like you were like, yep, that's my daughter. There she is. Like,
Yeah.
that's absolutely awesome. I absolutely love that. But I'm still reeling from the fact that that's how long you've been cosplaying, because I swear it's been
About that.
because I've been cosplaying a fair while. I've been cosplaying since I was like 16, 17, and I'm 28 now.
You started before I did.
That's madness that I started before you
Yeah.
did. But then I mean, I'm not gonna lie, you've learned stuff a lot quicker than I have. Like
It must have been about 6 years, because I went to the EGX 3 months after LFCC, and I made my first official cosplay, which would have been the Blood Dragon Mass Effect armor.
Oh, that Mass Effect armor that also, and yeah.
And it was the first time I ever cosplayed, so it was fun. And then kind of didn't really do a lot for quite a while afterwards, until I was invited to a Star Wars geek quiz. So I was like, all right, we'll go, and maybe we'll go and cosplay. And I eventually put a little comment, because I didn't really know anyone who was going, so I put a thing on Facebook and said, hi, is anyone going? Does anyone need a lift? And pretty quickly I got a message back going, oh yeah, I'm in Exeter, I'll go and cosplay, I'll need a lift. And it was Dave Roth,
The man himself.
And then we sort of talked, and I realized actually he was only about 2 minutes from where I was staying. So I kind of threw together this it was like a black and red samurai Mandalorian, and it was literally thrown together. So we both went to this quiz in cosplay, had a right laugh, and yeah, we've been good buds ever since.
I love that.
Yeah, and he kind of dared me. He made his Space Marine, and I think I made my Batman, and then he was like, "Oh, I dare you! Go on, build a Space Marine. Go on, do it." Well, I don't want to build a Space Marine, and then eventually it's like, "Do you know what? Screw it, fine." And I'm going to make one bigger, just cuz.
I love the progress pictures you've got of the Grey Knight, like the one where it's all just grey, like grey foam. Not I know it's called the Grey Knight, but instead of the color silver, like it's all just the raw foam with all the detail pieces on it. Looks insane. It looks so cool.
I haven't looked at those pictures for a long time.
Dude, all I did was look at those pictures. Like, I loved those pictures. Oh, this is so cool. I would regularly go to like David Roth's page, X Cosplay, go to the Grey Knight Cosplay, and just look at all you guys' pictures and be like, this is so cool. There was one. I wasn't sure whether I was going to bring it up, but I'm definitely going to bring it up. Dave was nice enough, because this was after after we'd done the Iron Warrior. I was busy at home painting it and getting it ready and adding details and doing all this cool stuff and just making sure that it fit and doing the modifications that I needed to do to actually wear the damn thing. And I was painting away and everything. And I was getting to the point where I was burning myself out before I really knew that I was burning myself out. And I was getting down, and I was messaging Dave like, "Oh, I just saw you and like David in that really cool video. It was what video was it? With the spaceship in the sky and you get blown up."
It was Dave. Oh no, it was actually.
No, it was Dave. Sorry, David Roth that gets blown up. Sorry,
I went.
You look, yeah. And
Yeah.
I made a GIF of that. I made a GIF of you going,
you did.
and it says, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
What you call it? With that, I saw that and I was like, "Oh, guys, like I wish I was there. Like my suit isn't ready and all that." There was a picture of you, Dave Roth. It was Dave Roth. And a few other cosplayers, and there's a gap in the middle. Just happened to be a gap in the middle. And you sent me one night, randomly out of the blue, you sent me that picture and went, "Don't worry, man, there's a space in the middle here for you." And I was like, bro. And I've still got that picture. I've saved that. I
Good.
I keep that. That is a picture I've kept for ages. The little screenshot of just you being like, "There's a space in the middle for you." That made me go like, man, that's just... And that properly got me up. And then I just obviously went off and just finished the Iron Warrior, and then just boom. Never though have I actually gotten to stomp around with you as the Grey Knight, sadly.
Yes, you did.
Did I?
Once. and there's photo evidence of it.
There is Sci-Fi Weekender 8.
Sci-Fi Weekender.
Sci-Fi Weekender 8. I did.
Which was brilliant.
Oh, why did I forget that? I feel so bad that I forgot that. But yeah, it was me, you, and David. It's back when the Iron Warrior looked like dog shit. Oh God.
Yeah,
God,
that was
the suit
that was fun.
So bad.
But I didn't really wear mine for that long.
Neither did I, because one of my stilts like fucked up. It wouldn't, like, one of them was riding lower than the other, and I just couldn't get it to walk right, and I kept like shaking and almost losing my balance because it was literally coming apart. It came apart at the very bottom, like where the piece of metal joins the ply. It had come off. It had completely.
Yeah, that was
because I hadn't done it right. I literally had not done it right. It was awful.
It's the only time I can think of that we actually managed to get to do it, and yeah, it never really got used after that.
So you've worn it. How many times did you say you've worn the Grey Knight then?
Don't know, 4 or 5 times. That's it.
Wow, because I was thinking about 5 or 6.
Well, yeah, it's not many.
Hello, Gordon.
Hey,
Yeah,
thank you
many.
so much, Mr. Titan 40K and Artemis Blackfire for the hosts. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the hosts there. But I'm shocked it was so little. Was there any particular reason, or did you just not like it? Like, was there something you weren't keen on, or?
One, transporting it was a pain.
Yeah.
Even though I had a Vauxhall Saphira, even with the seats down,
yeah,
it wouldn't fit in the car.
Do you know what you've you've raised a point there? You've raised a point there. So
yeah, moving it anywhere was difficult.
When I took my little red Vauxhall combo down to get the Grey Knight, we could barely fit it into the van.
Yep, and it was all squished in between each other.
Yeah, it was actually squished on. Like Ranger Recruit Cosplay will know. When I put my suit in the van now, I put like the feet, the shins, and the arm goes in the shins, and then this, that, and everything has its place, and nothing gets crushed. But with the Grey Knight, that is damn near impossible. I have tried. Like, I've had this big door open, the big workshop door. I had the huge roller door open. I reversed my van in, had the doors open, and then just stood there and was like, right, and started putting the suit in as if I was packing it into the van. I can get most of it in, but the trousers are so big. Like, the trousers can go in at sort of like an angle. The shins and the feet and everything go in. But the chest and then the shoulders, it's like the way me and Harry pack the van now, we have a system. But this completely takes that system and just goes, just throws it out the window. There is no room for anything else. It's the Grey Knight or nothing. Like, it's just like... So
sorry.
if I ever have to take the Grey Knight to a con, I'm gonna have to work something out. That is insane. Like, if the thing is, if the convention is like, hey, can you bring the Grey Knight? I'll be like, you're gonna have to rent me a van.
A big van.
Mine ain't gonna fit. Like, it would fit in
green.
like, you know, your standard size transit. You know, your box van, your standard size box van transit. It'll fit in one of those. It'll fit in that easy. It'll take up a lot of room, but it'll fit in it nicely. But my van, my God, it just would not. It just would not. Oh yeah, Ranger Creek. Yeah, we play Tetris. He literally plays the theme on his phone when we're packing the van. There's a system. Me and Harry have a really good system for the van. It's working out really well. But with the Grey Knight, it's going to be near as damn it impossible. So it's the way it is. But we'll figure it out. There's always going to be a way. Always going to be a way. So, why do you cosplay? Like, what is your reason?
Okay, so this is something I find a lot of cosplayers have in common, actually. I went through a pretty rough time, and I was in a really bad place. And basically, speaking to Dave, getting friendly with him, and he basically said, hey, come to some of these events, come and cosplay. So I made something. First off, creating something from scratch by hand is really good to help focus, take your mind off of whatever is on your mind at the time.
Amen. Like, genuinely, holy crap.
Yeah.
I think so many people in chat will understand.
Yeah, and so I would do that, to help focus my head. And then I'd go to a convention and I'd have a helmet on. And as soon as that helmet went on, I could have been absolutely anybody, but I wasn't me.
I got you.
Which was, at the time, the main thing.
Yeah.
And I started going, oh, actually, everyone was being super nice and really friendly, and I was having a really nice time. And then, over time, the helmet can come off. And I found I started to enjoy, everybody's company a lot more. They all accepted me for who I was and what I was creating. And I've made some really, really close connection and some really close friends who I hope I have for life now. We all share similar points in life. And I think because we've all been through it, our friendship is so much stronger afterwards because of it.
Oh, God, yeah. Like, I literally 110%. I mean, I know if Daniel Theophani, I mean, you know Dan. If Dan,
I know Dan.
Dan's the same. Dan would put on his helmet and he would be really, really happy. He was also the same. He was like, he didn't really want to take his helmet off. Like, he would always make a cosplay that had a mask or something. But I think he's currently working on the first cosplay that he doesn't have a mask or doesn't have a helmet of sorts. I think that's what he was saying to me the other night, which is really, really awesome. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong. When I started cosplaying, I would do steampunk. That doesn't have a helmet. I could have had a helmet, but I didn't. But it doesn't half make you feel vulnerable, if anything. Like, you're wearing this insane costume and you're walking around and people come up to you and they just start talking to you and it's just like you gotta sort of react really quickly and you sort of gotta know. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm good at it now, but back when I started, good God, when I got to the Ghostbuster, things were a lot better because every time I'd walk anywhere, I'd always get people shouting, "Who are you gonna call?" You got to shout back Ghostbusters, like it just happens.
You have to do it. It's the law.
But it's no, I completely get what you mean, and that was really awesome of you. Just like because that is genuinely what I think most people, if not a lot of people in the chat, have experienced as well. Not everyone, obviously, but I know a good bunch of people.
It's very common, and a lot of the friends that I've got and I've met some incredible people through cosplay. And I don't know, it's that kind of, because you all share the same kind of insecurity, you trust each other more than it's a really strong connection that you have and form with other people.
Absolutely.
And so after that, you kind of grow in confidence and what you're doing, and you just make more and more friends. And I eventually started going, I don't need to hide now. And I started putting out the stuff that I make to the open market and say, does anybody want any of these things? And it's slowly picked up from then.
Yeah, you got very busy very quickly. I remember you were 3D printing stuff left, right, and center. I would contact you and be like, "Hey, can you 3D print me this? I need like a picture." You were like, "I have got 4 or 5 people in front of you, buddy. This is gonna be."
I would love to,
because you only had the Ultimaker 2.
Yeah, one machine. I now have 4 3D printers.
You have 4
currently.
3D printers now.
Yeah,
that's madness. And also, I know you did. Speaking of COVID and stuff, you did some work for the NHS. You printed visor clips and stuff. You did a bunch of visor stuff with your 3D printers, which is absolutely awesome of you. Well done there.
We did. We were. That's right. We were handing them out to anyone who needed them for free. Didn't ask for anything from anyone. A bunch of people eventually did say, "Look, can we at least donate something towards?" And it all went straight back into making more. Now, if you count how many visors and mask straps and everything else that we made, we must have done about 2,500 units that we sent out.
That's madness. That is a lot of 3D printing. That's on average. How many hours would a singular one take to print? Because I know you printed them in batches. Obviously, you printed them in batches.
Yeah, we put in a 1 mil nozzle onto the printer just so it was printing out faster. Quality wasn't an issue. It was just as many as you can.
As long as it was strong enough to hold the visor, you'd be fine.
Yeah, we were doing maybe 3 I'm hoping someone's going to shout at me in a second. Just waiting for the voice from the other end. Maybe it's like 3 an hour, I suppose.
Per actual, but that's awesome.
3 every 2 hours, apparently.
3 every 2 hours.
The Ultimaker going, the CR10 Pros going, and they were just constant day in, day out. You know, I was waking up during the night just to get another batch going because they were going out the door so fast. I do feel sorry for the poor postman because I was stood in there with boxes of both just going, this is going to this one, this is going to this one. I'll be there for the hours.
I don't think he mind. I don't think he mind because he knows it was going to a good place. Like,
yeah. It's
we have a I have a thing from Mr. Titan 40K Iron Warrior Cosplay. Why don't you get a trailer for your van? Sadly, 2 reasons.
It wouldn't fit in a trailer.
Sadly, 2 reasons. Number 1, my van doesn't have 3 reasons actually. Number 1, my van doesn't have a tow bar. Number 2, I would have to buy a trailer, and I don't have the money to buy a trailer right now. And 3, I don't have a trailer license because of the year I was born and the year I passed my driver's license, passed my driving test. I need a license to tow a trailer behind a car. I have to do a license for it now. Anyone born before you get something called grandfather's rights, where you can just tow a trailer, you don't have to do the license for it. But now you have to do a license, which it absolutely sucks. And it's something I have to do. But what's really funny is, pass your tractor test at 16, can tow an 18-ton trailer behind a tractor with like 150 horsepower. And it's like, okay, I guess, like that's fine, I guess, but I can't tow a tractor. I can't tow a trailer behind a car. So it kind of sucks, but hey, it's the way it goes. But I don't have a license. But oh yes, HGV. No, not HGV 102. That's heavy goods. That's actual truck license. I'm talking just a trailer license. I think it's just called a category something. I don't know. I'd have to look it up again. But yeah, sadly. Those are the 3 reasons. I haven't got a tow bar, I haven't got a trailer, and I haven't got a license. So even if I had a license, I would need a van with a tow bar. And my van, you can't put a tow bar on, I don't think. I don't think so.
And you need a pretty sizable trailer.
You would need a good sizable trailer. You would need one of those fiberglass, those fiberglass, like, the ones that they take behind...
Well, put horses in.
No, you know the ones they're completely square boxes. They're twin axles.
Yeah.
They use them behind taxis to take people to the airport. They're quite sizable. They're quite sizable, bigger than my van anyway in terms of space inside. So that would be. Correct if I'm wrong. You should be able to tow a single axle. Just no. I'm not sure. You'd have to look it up. I passed my test at 18. I passed my tractor test at 16, but. You'd have to look it up. I'd have to look up the government guidelines and stuff. All I know is I've been told I need a license. So, you know. So, considering that you've been cosplaying now for 5 or 6 years, as you said, which is still shocking to me. I thought it was much longer. Do you say that cosplay is something you'd see yourself doing in 10 years?
Oh, yeah.
100%?
I mean, it's something that I've not done much of over the last sort of year or so. And... mostly because of COVID, but also because I've just been so busy with everything else that I've not had time to do much for myself. Over the road, I've got a full set of Halo 3 Spartan armor, all 3D printed, ready to go. I just haven't had the time to spend on it to, get it wearable.
That would be insane to see. I can't wait to see that. That's going to be awesome. One day, I want to see you wearing that. I want to see you wearing that.
I'll get around to it at some point. It's just sat next doors, but along with everything else.
But you are actually still busy doing commissions and stuff, though, aren't you? You just showed me that amazing commission piece. Obviously, if you can't show it on camera, that is fine.
No, I can.
Show it on camera. But if you can, I would love to see it.
Gunblade?
Yeah, go for it. There you go. Final Fantasy Online. The Gunblade. Oh, it is. And that's completely 3D printed, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, fully 3D printed. It's an absolutely beautiful piece.
I'll go back as far as I can.
There you go. You're in shot there.
It's pretty large.
It is a chunky. That looks sick. Yeah, people are saying that looks sick, and it really is. It's absolutely amazing. Looks beautiful. Obviously, you guys can go over to Dave's Facebook primarily. He needs to start doing his Instagram more.
I really do.
But he is on Facebook. If you guys want to commission him, he is on Facebook. He will absolutely talk to you on Facebook about commissions and stuff. Ah, look at that, Game of Thrones. Look at that. Oh, it's such a lovely.
This is the book version.
That's the book version, yeah.
Yeah, I've got all sorts of stuff just laying around. I've got like the Witcher 3 swords, the Ren-free stuff. Most of it. A lot of what I've been asked for recently is Witcher related. But because I 3D model my own stuff, it's these aren't things you can just get off of Thingiverse or my manufacturing stuff. They'll come and go, I want a whatever. The 3D file that I'm working on currently is. Have you seen the Dark Crystal, the new one?
Oh yeah, the new one. Yeah.
I've just finished the model for the Jewel Glaive.
Oh, cool.
And it's going to be 2 parts as well, so it'll lock together.
That's
everything.
Sick.
Here you go. Look
of
at this. Where are you? There you are.
There you go. Your links are now in the chat. Thank you so much, Dragonheart.
And this one.
But
there you go.
Awesome. Oh, you've sent those to me on Facebook, have you?
Yep.
Awesome. Obviously, I sadly I can't link those to the chat, but if
no.
if you have you got those on your page at all, so people can go have a look.
No, because I haven't actually made it yet. I don't generally put too much just the 3D stuff on my page because it's either a work in progress or I kind of change it a little bit before I actually make them. But yeah, I can do pretty much anything I get thrown at. I mean, this is from The Witcher 3.
The belt from The Witcher 3.
From series, and it's all resin gems that a friend of mine cast for me. Just all. My house is just full of all sorts of crazy things laying around. I've got.
I like it though because that's the thing. People come down to my workshop and they'll just pick up a weapon like it's here somewhere. Oh, awesome!
Cara Dune's dagger, her boot dagger. Unfortunately, I don't know if you can see it, but there is that phaser rifle that I got signed.
Yes, the one in the picture for this stream. It's just you holding a phaser rifle, and it's signed as well, isn't it?
By Michael Moore, the guy who made the actual phaser rifles for Star Trek.
That's brilliant. That is so cool.
Which was pretty funny. Because he called me over when we went. I was working for Showmasters doing the Star Trek convention they do, and this short American guy sort of kept waving me over, and I was like, "Hello," and he's like, asked me about it. He said, "Did you make this?" I was like, "Yeah." And he sort of picks it up and he holds it next to him and he's kind of really eyeing it up. And he went, "Well, if you ever make another one, if you modify this slightly, modify that and bits and pieces." And I'm thinking, this guy really knows his stuff. Who is it? And then all of a sudden it clicked because I saw the guest list and it was like, oh God, it's Michael. He was the guy who made them and said, "Oh, do you want me to sign it for you?"
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Sat up over.
That is awesome. I love that. The fact that he just waved you over and was like, modify this, adjust that. You're just getting permission to make it as accurate as possible. That's just brilliant.
Yeah. I was pretty pleased with that.
That is fantastic. With all the cosplays that you've done, and you've done many, sadly, obviously, many of them have met the untimely demise of the Skip.
Yeah.
I don't have a drink with me tonight, so I'm coughing like anything. What is your favorite cosplay that you've made over the years? Even if it's gone to the great skip in the sky.
What's my favorite one?
Because you've made a bunch.
I've made a few. I'm really going to have to cop out on this answer, I think. I don't know yet. I've never been satisfied with anything that I've made for myself. I have some ones I want to make that I think with everything that I've learned up to this point they may be up to standard, but until I've made them, I don't know.
I got you. Well, I mean, that's an honest, that is an honest answer. Oh, hello. I think my bulb is going. Whoa, my bulb's
Ooh,
going.
hello.
Oh, my bulb's going. Take your bets on when my bulb's about to go. Don't panic. I have backups, so it's all good. Let me plug this in. This should plug in there, and that should turn on there.
I wish I did that.
Look at that. I have got more lights than I need. So if the bulb does go, don't panic. I should still be illuminated. While you're, oh, awesome! He's going to get it. Yes, this is going to be awesome. Put the bulb in the skip. Put the bulb in the skip. People are telling me to put the bulb in the skip.
One phaser rifle.
That's so cool.
Signed by.
Signed. Did you clear coat that?
No, I haven't.
Ernie Hudson signed my cud meter, and as soon as I got home, I literally, when I had it, I had to keep it and make sure that it was completely fine. I actually found someone who had some clear sealer, and I was like, wait, is it clear sealer? He was like, no, it's hairspray. And I'm like, that'll do. Like, hairspray will do for a bit.
All sorts of crazy things laying around my house. I've got to repair this, but for a Christmas do, I did a steampunk phaser rifle.
That's so cool.
It's got like power selectors and also did have LEDs and stuff, but I've not looked after it. But
is it brooked?
It's only where the cables for the LEDs have come out.
Fair enough.
Which I need to redo, but wooden phaser rifle.
Oh, is that made of wood?
Yeah, actual,
Because like everything you make is like 3D printed, so it's really funny to hear that something is made of wood.
With all cogs and everything in it.
Oh, that's legendary. Oh man. Speaking of stuff that we've made and stuff that you've made and things like that. So long did you yell at me for using hot glue? There was a time where I never used contact cement. I thought contact cement took too long and it was a pain in the ass. But this man would yell at me for using hot glue all the time. Stop using hot glue on outward-facing seams. Use it on the inside of stuff, which is what I do now.
Yeah.
But back in the day, I would do what me and David Roth were talking about and just squeeze it into the seam, push it together, and then use your thumb to get rid of the excess, and just ball it up in your hand and throw it away, and that worked for a while. But now I'm more inclined. I'm using contact cement and stuff, and like for example, obviously since you were showing a gun, I'll show one of mine. I haven't shown this on stream for a while because I'm so proud of it. This is my Krieg las gun.
Nice.
From Warhammer 40k. It looks quite good in that light. It looks a bit shiny in that light. All contact cement. The whole thing is contact cement, except for the inside. The actual insides of this box is all hot glue and all
where it should be.
Massive hot glue and stuff. This is. I am incredibly proud of this gun. I'm really, really happy about. Do you know what I'm really happy about this stuff? I'm happy about how accurate it is. Like how actually, to every picture of a las gun I've seen of this type, I look at it and I'm like, I've done a really good job. That's like one thing I'm really, really proud of, especially with that one. I have got the bayonet for it as well, so the bayonet can go in the front of it, and it's absolutely awesome. I do love that thing. But since we're showing guns, I thought I'd show you that one because since you yelling at me to use contact cement, I've been using contact cement, and things do look a lot prettier.
He can be taught.
He can be, but it took what? Took 2.5 years, 3 years almost. So
sorry, I'm still banging my head against the wall with a certain cosplayer. No names mentioned.
I love it.
He still doesn't.
David Roth is already in the chat saying, "Haha, hot glue rules." I mean, don't get me wrong. I can't say it doesn't. It's holding the entire Iron Warrior. It's holding the whole Iron Warrior together, and it's absolutely beautiful stuff. It works really well. I tell you what, I've been using it for more recently, though, is casting stuff. Been casting a lot.
Oh, yeah, you were casting a bunch of stuff with hot glue, weren't you?
It's absolutely awesome. Evil Ted stuff and everything. So, Carnifos, which contact cement? I use cosplayshop.be. I use their contact cement. The same contact cement that Kamui Cosplay uses. The reason being is it's like water. and it's so easy to spread around. You can put it in containers and bottles and stuff, and you can squirt it out and move it about. It's really, really awesome. That's the contact cement I use. I used to use Impact, I think it was, but it was like a paste, and it was a pain to work with, and it didn't work really well. It was actually awful. It was actually awful.
Yeah.
Finally,
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
the
UK
Impact.
Barge US peeps. I tell you what, it's like Barge. Everyone's saying like Barge is super liquidy and everything. I use that. There you go. What's that? Instant contact adhesive. Is that what you use?
Yep. I get it from Tool Station, and it's about £7 for a big tub.
How liquidy is it? Is it very liquidy, or is it more like a paste?
To start with, it's absolutely fine. So if you're doing a big project and you're going to use it over the next couple of weeks, great. It's fine. If you leave it longer than that, the chance of you getting the lid back on perfectly is pretty slim.
Oh,
and it does go sticky.
Here's a tip for you. Looks like the learner is becoming the learned. Take a blade like this and literally open it out to about like that much, and every time you're done with it, let it dry a little bit, and then I just scrape this all the way around.
Scrape around the outside.
Put the lid back on. I do it on the inside of the lid as well.
It still seems to get too tacky to use after a few weeks.
Oh yeah, with the contact cement I use, I always take it into the house to keep it warm. I always make sure to not leave it out here. I found if I leave it out here, it gets too cold and it goes really hard really quickly. I don't know why. I think it's because it drops very, very, very cold down here.
That might be one of the reasons. I've got it next doors, and there's no heat in it next doors. And It does get cold, so
I bring mine into the house. Bring your contact cement into the house. If you're cold, they're cold. So I bring my tin of contact cement into the house all the time. I use cosplayshop.be. Don't get me wrong. It is you say yours is £7. Mine is considerably more than that for like a decent sized tin, not like a 4 litre, but like the medium sized ones, not the tiny ones, but like the medium sized ones. And I buy 2 or 3 at a time, but it is a bit costly. But for the quality and how liquidy it stays, I just use it a lot, and it's just what I've discovered that I prefer to use. I did for ages use a paintbrush. I would get I bought those really cheap, like 20p, like little shitty wooden brushes, and I would use one of those on big things, like if I was doing a sheet or something. The only downside I've got is I would go through them like left, right, and center. Now I use lollipop sticks.
Okay, do you know what I use?
Go on.
I basically take a small half-cut of foam, take my blade to it, cut it at an angle, and just use the flat cut side of a piece of foam, and it spreads on lovely. And then obviously when it goes tacky, you just throw it in the bin. Use another piece.
Man, I need to start doing that. I'm going to start doing that.
Which means you can define how wide of a surface area you want. So if you're doing a big piece, you just take a big piece of foam, cut it at an angle, and acts like a spade, just wipes it nice. But then again, with the small bits, you just cut a thinner piece.
I'm learning. I'm learning as we go. I'm even learning now. I love it. I'm learning every day. Dovry, get a drink, boy, before Nurgle gets you. I don't have anything. I actually don't have anything, but I'm trying to get rid of this horrible. It's like a phlegmy throat I've got. It's because I normally drink, and if I talk a lot, I get this horrible phlegmy throat. In terms of cosplays that you've done, then, what is your most expensive cosplay that you've made yourself to date?
Probably the one behind you.
Is he here? Is this that boy? Man, that's insane. What are you? You don't have to, but would you give us a rough estimate of how much do you think it cost you originally or in total to build said monster of a suit? It's a hell of a suit, by the way.
I can't honestly remember exactly. And if I went back, I would do it differently. Because obviously now we can get the larger rolls of foam.
Yep.
Which we never used to be able to get when I first made it. When we had the floor mats, which is a pain. So I must have spent, I don't know, probably around the £200 mark ish.
See, that's pretty decent. I spent literally double that roughly on everything. That was including tools. That was like blades, glue gun, heat gun. That was literally everything I needed for the Iron Warrior. So when I started off, I spent like obviously double that, but that's a pretty decent price for a suit like this.
Probably about that. Around 200, 250.
Because it's the foam that costs the most, really, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And now if we did it again, we'd just get the big rolls.
Yeah.
Where it's a lot more efficient.
You could cut out your shoulders on one sheet, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And obviously with the new one I want to make, is a lot more refined and a lot smaller. I need kind of platforms. I'm a bit of a midget, so I'll need to kind of wear some sort of platforms, but I won't need stilts.
I've got platforms in the Iron Warrior now, and there's platforms going in the Grey Knight as well. They're going to be quite tall platforms. They're practically going to be stilts, but they're not going to be actual like Duras or anything like that, or actual plaster stilts or anything. But they are going to be lightweight. They're going to be aluminium, so that's going to be super lightweight.
Oh, cool.
And they're going to be super strong as well, so that's going to be really good. So I'll go the same way then. What is the cheapest? I'll go the other way even. What is the cheapest cosplay you've ever made?
The cheapest cosplay I ever made was that the Mandalorian Samurai.
Oh wow, really? I thought it was going to be your Clark Kent.
No, actually, no, it wasn't. It was my Mandalorian because I already had the. I did use Pritt Stick. No, not Pritt Stick. Sorry, hot glue when I made that one.
Way hot glue.
Yeah. I had so much foam offcuts. It was all just offcuts and the odd sheet that I had from the Mass Effect one that I made. I only used pretty much black paint, which I had loads of it. I didn't even have a brush. I don't like to admit this, but I didn't even have a brush. So all I could use was an old sock. It was clean.
I don't think it matters because you used
so
it.
I just tore it and used it as a piece of fabric.
Yeah.
And, used it to paint this armor and then did some red and a little bit of the chrome. But I had everything there, so it cost me, I suppose, $3 or £4, maybe.
I love that. That is absolutely brilliant. I used an old sock.
Didn't have any brushes.
Hey, at least we know now, like in a bind, if I ever need a paintbrush, I'm wearing 2 on my feet. So that's, it's not all bad.
No,
all bad.
You can make do with whatever you have.
Well, that's the first painting armor with a sock. I know, right? I know, like literally. So
I mean, I've upgraded to brushes now. But,
you have? Oh, brilliant! I'm so glad. I'm so glad because I bet wearing socks with crusty paint on them is probably the worst thing.
It'd be worse.
Oh, Nocturne's Forge, are you heading off? Thank you so much, Nocturne's Forge, for coming around. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming. Andrew's heading off for the night. What is your favourite convention? And I think I might know, but I'm not sure with you. Yeah, that's why I wasn't sure with you. Because I have,
Okay, I would say my favourite convention that I have ever been to would be Sci-Fi Weekender.
Way!
Right?
Sci-Fi Weekender. I think, do you know what? I think we've mentioned Sci-Fi Weekender on every stream this season. I don't know. I want to confirm that, but it's pretty mentioned.
Sci-Fi Weekender was one hell of a convention, and I had such a blast. I am beyond gutted that it got moved.
Oh, yeah, same.
And I wasn't able to get to this one. And they've split it, and I didn't go, so I don't know if it was the same or not. But
the feeling is the same. It's still the same feeling of like camaraderie and really fun, and the dark room and DJ Leroy and all that. It's still really cool, but it's sad that the venue is so small. Like you can barely fit in it. It's so small. Compared to Sci-Fi Weekend up in Havana More. But, it's fine. I mean, if they, obviously, if they've made it the permanent home, then that's fair enough, but I would love if they could move to a bigger place. Doesn't have to go back to Havana More, but to have it at a bigger place would be better.
Yeah. I mean, driving over the mountains, when you're inches from the side in a giant van full of cosplays, is part of the experience.
Hell
that
yeah!
Of, fear for your life before you get there.
Wales is a death trap. I love it.
Yep. But what an experience! I mean,
so good, isn't it?
That would be my absolute favorite. I mean, I do really enjoy.
Oh yeah, bigger doors.
EGX
Bigger doors would be good as well. Bigger doors.
Yeah, bigger doors are always good. But I do like the EGX convention as well. but that's because I'm a gamer. I like going and seeing what's new and
Oh yeah, of course.
going up with a few friends and just blasting games for a weekend. I do want to go to Insomnia at some point.
I would love to go to Insomnia at some point. I have got that on my bucket list. I haven't been to Insomnia, but
so
I don't know what I would do. Whether I'd go cosplay or not.
Probably, or at least some of it.
Yeah, some of it. Although don't get me wrong, I did MCM London both days in the Iron Warrior and literally tore my boot. So the actual my actual boots, the things I wear on my feet, not the Space Marines boot. Put the boot like that, and I would walk, and there's the back of the heel and the front of the heel. The actual shoe, the heel stayed where it was, but the actual shoe tore apart. That's how much I was walking around. I walked around that entire event so much. I walked around for 8 hours. I sat down 3 times on the Saturday and like 11 times on the Sunday because I was so tired from the day before. My legs are the strongest things in my entire body.
Yeah.
They're strong as hell.
If I'm ever talking to someone who's never been to a convention or never really had much intention to, I would go and find one of the Sci-Fi Weekender trailers. I think it was 2018. I think it is, and I'd say, "You've never been to a convention? Watch this."
Yeah,
and they'd sit there and watch that, and obviously the music would start off all right, and it looks a bit dainty, and then boom, the music drops. Yeah, all the nightlife, all the flames are going, the robots are dancing, dark room's going at it, and obviously the flame dancers and everything else, and they look at us and go,
Who doesn't love the flame dancers?
Look at me and go, you were there? And I was like, yep, I was there.
We were part of the event, bro. We were part of the event. I love it.
That's right.
I love that. Welcome back, Artemis Blackfire. Welcome back.
So, that's where the famous video, or the GIF at least, of you and Dave jumping up and down your Space Marines. I was like, what? A few inches off to the side of you with my sword swinging it around, popping balloons.
You were literally popping all the balloons. All the balloons that would come over, you were stabbing them with your sword and just blowing them all up.
I got booed, I know. But I didn't mean to. It was accidental.
Oh, man alive. The Sci-Fi Weekender, when I went there for the first time, second time, and third time, it's just welcoming every time. Just making new friends and seeing old ones, and it just makes me incredibly happy. I love it. It's the best place to be. And I genuinely wish we can go back there this year, but sadly we can't. But next year, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get there. And
even if it's moved, if I can go next year, I really want to go. I miss all you guys, and that was a special place that we all go, and I miss it.
Yeah, I would be devastated if I couldn't go to Sci-Fi Weekender. But I mean, with Adam and everyone, Adam's an absolute legend. He always arranges it and gets us all to participate and stuff, and it's absolutely fantastic. And I love him for it. Even got me a gig there as Professor Very Mental with Paul Albro as Professor Elemental. That was I owe Adam that. I owe Adam that. I was on stage.
Yeah, you two up on stage. I was in the crowd.
I owe Adam that massive gig. Like one of the best times I've ever been the Professor on stage with Paul at Sci-Fi Weekender doing fighting trousers in front of a massive crowd. And look,
I was there, mate.
Look, I don't get nervous often, okay? But I was bricking it the whole time. I was like, I'm about to get in front of Sci-Fi Weekender. And it's insane. And I get on, I do the thing, and I'm like, and it was awesome. And then I go off. And literally I go off, and the first thing I did was just grabbed someone, just hugged, like, oh my God, it was so much fun. It was just the best, and I loved every second of it.
I'm well chuffed for you, mate. It was a hell of an experience.
Pages Pooches, I would love to experience Sci-Fi Weekender. When you do, there is no turning back. You will want to go there every year. You'll want to be there every year. You'll want to be there the whole time. It's the greatest thing ever.
Absolute truth.
It is absolutely lovely. So
and book an extra day off for when you get back.
Oh
You'll
God,
need it.
yeah, that's literally the one thing I tell everyone when they go to Sci-Fi Weekender. You have to make sure that you book. You have to make sure that you book a day off after, because you're going to be screwed after. It is just, insane. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Evil Ted Smith has jumped into the chat. Everyone say hi to Evil Ted Smith. Thank you so much for joining us, Evil Ted. I was literally just watching Evil Ted stream before setting up with Dave here for our stream. And he is currently working on his Mandalorian helmet and painting that up. I know he was doing the yellow today. I don't know how much you got done, sadly, because obviously I started my stream, but I'm definitely going to watch that back on YouTube, as I always do. I absolutely love watching your videos. The chat is just, hey, Evil Ted. I absolutely love it. It's brilliant. I feel honoured. We have Iron Warrior Cosplay. Some good new LFCC is back for July 2021. Oh, awesome! It's back for 2021. That's going to be awesome. I haven't actually been to a Showmasters event in some time, but I don't know whether I'd jump back again. It's not my cup of tea either, but I don't know whether I'd jump back again as an Iron Warrior and go there and see what it's like. But we'll see. But wow, look at that. The whole chat is hey, Evil Ted. I love it. Evil Ted is an absolute legend. And it was really funny. Evil Ted jumped into my chat on the stream I had with the birthday stream. And was it the birthday stream? I think it was the birthday stream. And then I had Warp Raven. And then I had Mr. Ben Cosplay. And he gave me 10 bits. And I was like, thank you so much, Evil Ted, for the 10 bits. I jump over to his stream and I gave him 10
bits back again.
And he was like, nice. Oh, you gave me the 10 bits back. And I'm like, because, sharing is caring. I love it. But
I hope you don't mind. And, seeing Evil Ted is on chat, I am obviously, as everyone is, a massive fan. And I hope you don't mind. I'm going to totally show my sword.
Do it, please. Show Evil Ted your work. Ted, this is for you. This is a Final Fantasy Gunblade from Final Fantasy Online that Dave has just 3D printed, painted, weathered, and worked on. This has been sold, hasn't it?
It has, and it's going off in the next, day or two. But it is massive.
It is massive, and it looks so beautiful. The detail work in it alone is just insane, and it's the clarity of it and everything. It's so nice. And
there you go.
But that's for Evil Ted.
Yeah.
Gunblade from Final Fantasy. It's an absolute brilliant thing. Ted's currently working on his Mandalorian helmet that he got 3D printed, which is absolutely beautiful. It's so nice. But Ted does say that he has found a new love for hating the fact that sanding is a thing. I think he's done 2 or 3 streams where he's been sanding and he's like, I hate sanding.
Something that I don't know if he's ever heard of or not, but probably, he is our Lord and God and everything.
Evil Ted just said, wow, looks great, Ultima Props.
It's worth having a look at. It's called XTC 3D Resin, and it can shave off 90% of your sanding time on 3D prints.
That's insane.
Don't know if it's any use to you or not, but if it does, fantastic.
So what was that again? Just so, in case Ted didn't hear it.
XTC 3D Resin.
XTC 3D Resin. Awesome. Right. Hopefully Ted might get some of that and get some of that going and cut sanding time down. That would be insane. But don't get me wrong. The amount of sanding I did on this, the amount of sanding I did on the stock of this gun.
Yep.
I don't mind sanding. Sanding I find quite therapeutic, believe it or not. It depends how much I have to sand.
See now, it's I kind of feel bad not having any foam stuff to hand because, when I was learning, I can't imagine how many videos of Evil Ted and Builderan I watched. Just hours of the stuff.
Evil Ted just said, I hated sanding in the 15 years at the prop shop Iron Warrior Cosplay. It's why I got into foam work. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I tell you what, the amount of sanding I did on that gun alone is enough to make me, not like it. But I enjoy it a little bit. It's therapeutic. I like just sanding something and then looking at it and then sanding it and getting the shape right, and just it's really, really nice. But for those of you who weren't at Ted's stream earlier, if you click on Evil Ted and jump back over to his channel after the stream, the VOD should be up of his previous stream. Also, he'll probably edit that then upload it to his YouTube so you can see it there, but edited and all shiny and really quick, so it seems like it goes really fast. But I prefer watching Ted live. There's something about watching Evil Ted live. Ted gave me the idea for the sign because of his legendary magnetic sign. I like watching Ted live because you get to interact with him, you get to talk to him, see how his day's going, and just watching him work. And I've learned a lot of stuff from Ted watching him live. I've also I've also learned that he has this really cool stand, just like I have for this microphone, but it holds his webcam for the face down camera, so he can pull it down and lift it up and pull it down. That'd be really cool. And also, Dragonheart, thank you so much for sharing Evil Ted's links in the chat there. If you guys want to go and see Evil Ted, those are all of his links there, including his second channel. So
I'm
awesome.
trying to scroll back like a madman just to find something foam that I've made that I was quite proud of, but
you got look at that. I have another question for you. This is a two-parter. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, that thing is insane. Oh, I love that. I love that gun.
There's a Sharps
look at it.
musket, all sealed out. I don't know if it's coming across or
it's
not.
It's coming over quite clear, but it's. Oh, you should see it. It's insane. Caxos saying, "Wow." No worries, Evil Ted. Thank you so much. I'm always happy to promote you, even though Evil Ted doesn't really need promoting, but I do. Like, believe it or not, there are one or two people I've spoken to like, "Who's Evil Ted?" And I'm just like, I am about to show you
what,
and I get to show them Evil Ted, which is absolutely awesome. So it really means a lot. Also. Quick little segue. Evil Ted messaged me the other day and asked me for my Iron Warrior helmet file for the Iron Warrior helmet.
Oh, nice.
And Ted's going to build one.
Get on.
He's going to build an Iron Warrior helmet. He's going to build it. And I cannot wait. I am so excited. I'm really, really excited. I really hope he does it. I've told him to keep me updated so that I can watch every stream and just watch him build it. And if I can be in chat, I'm just going to be so happy. But yeah, so this is a two-parter. This next question is two-parter. So, what's your favorite part of cosplay?
Seeing the finished product. Oh, actually, no. All right, two parts. I really enjoy the 3D design work and kind of making it look right, how it's all going to go together, the kind of technical detail. You know, where am I going to put this rod? That's too big. Can I move it here? And will it all go together? So it's really satisfying seeing it all come together. I hate bloody sanding. It is the bane of making props. And I always get the first bit. When I first put the first base coats down, I'm looking at it and go, oh, it looks crap. I don't like it. Like this sword, I was looking at it yesterday and I'm like, oh God, it looks awful. It's just, ugh. And then I sit there and I'm painting it and painting it and painting it. Then all of a sudden I look back and I go, oh, actually that's all right now. It just seems to, it does that. It goes, no, don't like it. So yeah, that's okay.
I love that. You say, yeah, that's okay, considering how amazing that prop looks. You're like, yeah, it's okay. But it looks stunning. Like, the work you do is beyond insane. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Power Fist, that thing is, it's so pretty. I love that Power Fist. There's something about that Power Fist. When it arrived, you have no idea how much I was just like, I need to just, and I unpacked it slowly and I took it out and I put it together and I just looked at how it worked, and then obviously I took it out and I just swore just the arm piece without the body on it, just so I could play with the fingers, and messaged you like really happy, and it was this, honest to God, the work you do is fantastic, and it just genuinely...
I think we were in the hot tub at the time when you sent us that. It was like, yay, Dofric's happy, and that's, you know, seeing the responses, I think that's probably the best bit.
Evil Ted, you let me know when, and if you want me on stream, you let me know, but I will be there in chat anyway, so regardless, I will be there, don't you worry. But if that's your favourite part of cosplay, the sort of the 3D design and the sort of seeing the end product, and obviously not sanding, because sanding's awful apparently. Like, I don't mind sanding, sanding's kind of okay, it depends. What is your least favourite part of cosplay? Because there's always a good side and there's always a bad side. Other than falling over at an event in your grey night.
Once. It only happened once.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Other than falling over in your grey night at a convention, like, I know that's not a great thing.
Yeah,
I don't get me wrong. I've fallen over in the Iron Warrior back when I had stilts. I fell over in the Iron Warrior. I fell over like a ton of bricks, bruised my knee.
Well, at least I bounced, you know.
Oh, I fell down onto my knee and hurt my knee because I fell like onto one knee first and then the other.
I think, you know, as you know, with my own personal cosplays, I'm never happy with anything I make. Oh yeah, myself
you're never happy. It could be the most screen accurate thing you've ever seen, and Dave will just be like, "Nah, I don't know." Skip.
No.
Just like,
I think one of the And it's happened a couple of times that this has happened, and it's the most gut-wrenching. So I use the same brands of paint, right? Because I know they work, I know they're reasonably flexible, and they're all the same brand, so they kind of mix together fine.
Brand do you use that you'd?
Mostly just kind of Halford's spray rattle cans, mostly. Yeah. I am moving on to using enamel more often now because you do get a nicer, shinier, hard finish. It's only just something I can do recently because I've made a spray booth next doors with heaters in it. Whereas before, when I was over in that first workshop, this is where my problem came. I'd spray something, it would look fine. About 2 or 3 minutes later, the whole thing would just craze and crack and bubble, and it's happened on a couple of different paints, even paints that I've used before.
Too much moisture, way too much moisture in the air, isn't it?
Yeah, like did I send you pictures of that Green Ranger? Considering I sculpted it all in, and it was all beautiful. Yeah. Painted it, I was really happy with the color. Sprayed the lacquer over the top of it. I've used it loads of times before. Walked off, came back, and the whole paintwork was ruined. And I had to sit there because it all goes gooey.
Yeah.
I had to sit there for hours trying to sand all this stuff off, and even then, I couldn't get it all off. I'm like, I'm going to a convention in 2 days' time.
I remember you sending me pictures that I was heartbroken. It was so upsetting to see because, man alive. Yep.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
No, that's the worst part. That's why. Do you know what? I've actually stopped using. I have one can I was given of a shiny gloss sealer varnishy stuff, right? But I just don't use it anymore. There's just no point. I hate that stuff.
This I use all the time.
I can't stand that stuff.
As long as you have it really hot.
Yeah, mine wasn't, and completely ruined
it. Yeah, it would do.
Completely ruined the prop I was working on.
Yep.
Man, I was just...
and the problem is you get to the end. It's because it's the last stage as well, isn't it? It's like, it looks lovely, and then you just see it starting to go... And you know there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to sit and watch.
Casual Prop said, can't you strip lacquer with chemicals instead of sanding? I have no idea. You could do with some isopropyl alcohol or something.
Yeah, you probably can. But when your entire prop that you've just spent hours painting beautifully just all goes, it's still a heartbreaking experience. Yeah. I think the other lesson that I learned the hard way is, do you remember the rocket hammer I did from Elita?
That rocket hammer was so cool! Oh my god! That rocket hammer was insane.
And it was massive.
That was so
And it was the first time, because it was hollow, I thought, I'll get some, come on, brain. The filler, the expanding foam filler.
Yeah.
Right? So I went over next door, I sprayed a little bit, and I left it to see how much it expanded. All right, seems a sensible thing. I've never used expanding foam before. So I put all the nose cone and all that, kind of glued it all together, sprayed a little bit in, and I'm talking only a small bit in the nose cone. Glued it all together, left it a few minutes, and it looked fine. Went off, did something else, came back, and literally the whole nose cone and all these gaps that I didn't even know were there were just oozing out. Oh. Sticky contact, like expanding foam.
Oh, man.
I panicked, never using the stuff before, and tried to wash it off. But actually, as soon as it touched water, it kind of went gooey and set. And I'm like...
How did you manage fixing that?
I'm, again, waiting for a voice from the other end of the house. I came back here, spitting bricks. I was fuming.
I bet you were. I just absolutely bet you were. You were livid.
I was cursing everything. And I came back over, it's bloody ruined, I can't go. I felt really stupid and just kind of threw this horrible gooey mess on the table. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing with this. I stormed out. I came back, and bless her cotton socks, she sat there and sanded it all back and just presented me this. And she said, I've tried my best and got a good 95% of it off. And it was enough that I could fix it and, add a little weathering to it so it worked. But calm head, she sorted it out and just saved the day.
That's what's nice. That's what's nice. It's nice to have that one person who can just help you fix something. Don't get me wrong. I've had those moments myself, but I've been completely alone. I've just been cursing myself.
What? Oh, I didn't know what she shouted.
But I've been like cursing myself at the workshop, like by myself, just really annoyed at what I've just done, and just not been able to tell anyone. But then I'll just message Harry, and Harry will just be like, right, okay, just like leave it for the night. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll leave it for the night, and I'll go up and I'll chat to my old man, and my old man will come down. And my old man knows nothing about cosplay. Like, he doesn't really know much in terms of like how things go together or whatever. But I was trying to get the stand to work for my Iron Warrior, because I wanted my Iron Warrior to stand up by itself, right? And I had this idea of PVC pipes and connectors, and I'll be able to connect this and do the arms and overcomplicated it. My old man just comes down and goes, "Why don't we just put a pipe straight in the middle and then put a T-piece at the top that'll hold the shoulders and just do it like that?" And I was like, yeah, but that wouldn't work because it would need to go through the trousers. And he was like, we could just drill a hole. And I literally looked at my trousers and was like, we could just drill a hole because you don't see it. There's literally a hole in the gooch or the whatever you want to call it, in the arse of my Space Marine. There's a hole where the pipe goes down. You set the trousers down on top of it. And it's brilliant. And you never see it because I've got the cape of the loincloth. It's right underneath. You'd have to go on a mission to find it.
You're going to go down there anyway. So
exactly. So it's just, and then we put it together, and there's a really funny picture of my dad with the trousers and the legs on, and he's just holding the pipe, and he's got his head on it, and it looks really, really funny. But I had no idea, and the amount of stuff that he's helped me with, it's insane. And I'm like,
the other thing I definitely find is you do end up going down into like a downward spiral, especially if you're getting, because you get angry, you're upset, you're tired, and then you're going, oh crap, I need to fix this, and then you just make another mistake on top of that, and you're just like, why?
And it ends up keeping you up at night. It actually ends up keeping you up at night.
Until someone comes along, or you just get to that point and go, do you know what? I cannot do anymore. If I don't go to sleep now, I'm going to end up hurting myself.
Yep.
No, you get sloppy with your box cutter. If you're doing foam, and I mean, a couple of times, you know, it's not this one, but if I'm getting really tired, I'm not being really accurate. I cut down with this, and then all of a sudden you feel it dig into the ruler, and you just think, Christ, my finger was nearly there.
That's why I'm not gonna lie. These metal, I bought metal rulers.
Yeah, so have I.
Oh, what a blessing they are! Like, you can just go to town and you don't worry because you it's just so nice. And then you end up slicing your finger. Yeah, you slice your fingers. It's beyond. It's just insane. But no, honestly, you know what? I completely get where you're coming from there. Because I've had the same. I think everyone here has probably had that issue where something's just not gone right, and it just ruins your day.
Yeah. Yes.
It's just that's why I haven't really built much on stream. Don't get me wrong. I built this on stream. I didn't build it all on stream. I didn't build the entire thing on stream. I did finish it off, off stream. But I was really proud with how I also contact cement, by the way, all contact cement. Yeah, see, contact cement, all.
Good choice. I mean, to be fair, I'm really looking forward to actually getting my hands on some foam again. It's been a long time.
Because you've literally mainly done 3D printing mostly now, haven't you, these days?
Yeah, it's just because of what I've been asked for.
Yeah, of course. I mean, well, and since you have that many 3D printers, why would you make it out of foam? You have that many 3D printers. There's no point,
But then it depends what you're using for. Like, when I go to do the next Space Marine at some point, it's using the right material for the job.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can make all these weapons out of foam if you want to, but realistically, it's so much easier for me to do it this way because that's how I know. Where you would never 3D print a Space Marine.
No, I've seen people who have tried, but I've not really considered it an option. Like, I still think that
helmet maybe.
I still think that fiberglassing a Space Marine is a bit insane.
Yeah,
it's the amount of weight. I just think that's madness.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's madness. Foam is just so much easier. You can fix it there and then at the con, especially with the toolbox I've got. But it's just
absolutely.
It's madness. It's madness. But yeah, I get what you mean. But I'm looking forward to seeing if you get your hands on some foam again. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do because the stuff you made out of foam.
I've got it all next doors. I've got it there ready to go. Just haven't had the time lately.
Need some time to do it. I got you. So how do you view yourself as a cosplayer? This is always an interesting one because I've had a lot of very, very interesting answers from this one.
I guess because I haven't done it for quite a while.
Jackie just said, I still want foam to build my Stay Puft.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's something we need to do again at some point. I kind of feel like I've come out of the cosplay scene a bit personally, and it's not because I want to. It's just because I've not had chance to make something for myself.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. But then, don't get me wrong. With this year as a whole, everyone's out of the cosplay scene because
absolutely,
it's just not.
I really, really hope that I get time over Christmas or something that I'll be up to date with the projects. They've all gone out the door. I mean, that lightning sword that I sent you, it's taken me bloody ages because I've never ever done like proper LED works. Now, I mean, I've done the odd lights on and off switch, but that's about it. Starting to work with Arduino boards and coding,
like Kamui cosplay sort of level of like LED work.
Yeah, but I've never done that before. So I said to the guy, "Look, I'll put this in your sword if you want it, and I'll do it for free because I don't know what I'm doing, and it will take me bloody ages. But if you're in no rush, you will have this glowing lightning sword, just for the price of a static one." And and they went, "Crack on."
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't?
And I've gone through, I don't know, umpteen sets of LEDs just trying to get the damn thing to work. I had a friend here the other a little while back. Now I knew they worked, and we wired it all up. Didn't work. We tried everything to get them to work. We're just like, oh, maybe we've blown them, put too much power through it. But it was working. And then we walked off and we came back. We're walking past and all of a sudden they went, bing, we're working now. We're both stood there looking at each other going, why?
How?
Yeah.
The grill?
It's been infuriating. But, I mean, the result looks pretty good.
Oh yeah, the result is insane. Looks really nice.
I know how to make my life easier for next time.
Absolutely. Did you build a proton pack recently? Because I remember Jackie just said, "And my Ghostbusters kit," and I just remember, did you build a proton pack or did you? Was it a kit, or did Jackie get one? Like I keep forgetting.
She got one from a cosplayer who's Ghostbuster stuff. He does all 3D printed Ghostbuster stuff.
Oh, there you
brilliant.
go.
And his cosplay page is Blind Wolf Cosplay.
Awesome.
I'm pretty sure. Chap called Sean. He's lovely, and he's been
Wolf,
really helpful.
Confirmed in chat by Jackie as well. Blind Wolf.
Yeah, he's helped me out with some of the LED problems I've had, and he's just been brilliant. He's a really, really nice guy as well. So, if you want 3D printed Ghostbuster stuff, go speak to him. I can 3D print the box, and I'm sure I'll do an okay job with it. But as far as the lights and the sounds and the smoke machines, nope. Nope.
I tell you who's absolutely fantastic with that is Ben of Kent Props. I got to give Ben of Kent a shout out because he did my proton pack, and that's got 225 watt speakers and a car amplifier built into it, so it's not exactly shy. Oh, it's I mean, you've seen my proton pack, haven't you? You've listened to that beat just blasting down there. It's absolutely legendary. I love that.
You know you're coming, don't you?
So I got to give a shout out to Ben of Kent there because he's an absolute legend. If I had to ask you then to give advice to somebody who's just starting off in the cosplay world, what kind of advice would you give them to start
off? Research, right? And I'm not just saying that because of people who are already in the live stream. Evil Ted Smith and Punished Props.
Oh, yeah.
Are two resources that you'll sink hours into. And it's worth the time. They've done the hard work and they've produced amazing content for you to sit and watch and learn how, you can skip so many hours of mistakes by spending that bit of time watching it. So that is my first off. Always pick a cosplay that you feel I want to say comfortable. I don't necessarily mean physically comfortable, because Space Marines aren't comfortable to wear. Let's be honest.
Mine's relatively comfortable to wear now. Relatively.
Mine wasn't. But just pick something that you're passionate about. And it doesn't matter what it is. And you can even cross-play if you want to. You can mix and match. There is no right or wrong, really.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as you're interested in it, go for it. Because you'll put more of that passion into whatever you're making. What I always find fun about cosplay, especially if you're a little shy, is if you go wearing a costume, you will stand out like a beacon to anyone else who has the same fandom that you do.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll spot you, and you'll spot them, and you instantly know, I've got a good base to start a conversation with. You know, if talking to strangers isn't something you're very good at, or if you are shy and a bit reserved, or, you know, you've instantly got a connection and a way to start having a conversation with someone.
I like that.
So it's so worth doing. And I've never looked back since. And also don't be a dick. Be nice to people.
To add to your list of people, as well as Evil Ted, Bill Duran, Odin Makes is also really cool. What I like about Odin Makes is he does stuff and shows you how to do it on a budget. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he goes full on and he'll do like an amazing build. And I know he did a Gundam recently. But he also shows you, like, you know, there's a really old video of his. He made Evil Dead chainsaw arm. And man, it's insane what he uses. He just uses everything and anything you can just find. And it's just great to see, because I know a lot of people would start off like that. Don't get me wrong, my steampunk started off a lot like that. My time travel clock device thing is an old clock body with a lumen disc in it and some gauges and stuff on it. And it's just like, okay, it just works.
When we were doing the steampunk stuff for us, we would, anytime we were in the area, we would drop into one of the local dumps, the skips sort of thing. And you just go in, obviously they've got their own stores where they have resell stuff, and it's pence. And you go in and you'll just find like a really old clock, and it's just crammed full of brass and cogs and things. And you're like, how much for this? I don't know, 20p. And you just rip it apart and just start gluing it to everything else. Like, you can find all sorts of amazing things.
Your cosplays end up in a skip most of the time, and now you're skip diving to get stuff, and they start from there as well. Yeah, I love that.
Just returning them back home.
Legendary. I love that. Do you think anyone has found any of your cosplay stuff in a skip and taken it and used it? Do you think?
Batman went.
Batman, yeah? Has someone found Batman?
Went. Yeah, that was left in a skip outside. Went back one day and it was gone. The rest of the stuff was still there, but Batman wasn't.
Ah, so someone has Batman.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I had no idea what ever happened to it, but, you know, I'd have loved to have seen someone's face if I did get rid of Grey Knight before you turned up.
Oh, my God. I mean, Andy got rid of his. And
yeah, I know.
The Judge Man, he got a picture of it. It made the front page of Reddit. Reddit went insane. He was just throwing away his entire Space Marine. And everyone was like, no!
No, I'm going to get it. Yeah, it's gone.
Oh, man. But no, I wanted to save the Grey Knight. I had to save the Grey Knight. I couldn't not save him. He needed saving.
Well, like I said, I'm hoping I'll get through the list of stuff that I've got on and then take a break from it, you know, and do something for myself. I mean, I've started doing my Grey Knight, my Emperor's Champion. I've started 3D printing little parts for it, and you saw those. Like, I'm looking forward to doing those big eagles, the big eagle on the back.
Yes,
out of foam.
That's going to be amazing. Out of foam. Don't 3D print those. Good God, don't 3D print those.
I'm only sort of like printing out little like fan covers and stuff like that. On the machine, but.
Give me your funniest cosplay story. This is one of my favorite questions. Give me one of your funniest cosplay story.
Oh, I wasn't expecting this one.
No, this one catches some people off. It depends. Some of these questions are a bit sort of, whoa.
Yeah. Oh, God, then it's kind of one of those. There's so many. I'm trying to think of one. You know what I mean? I'm sure it would be Dave Roth related.
Oh,
I'm sure it would
absolutely,
be.
yeah. It's always Dave Roth related. I love Dave Roth.
Um,
Mine are
I don't
usually
know.
either Dave Roth or Harry related.
It, I mean, I remember once he went to. I know this isn't even my story. It's just I was there at the time. Like
That's
he
still a funny
decided he
cosplay
wanted to.
story, I guess. So
He phoned me and went, Dave. I said, yeah. You busy? No. He said, I'm going to my work's Christmas do, and I'm going to take Big Red. I'm like, okay. And can you take me? Because he can't know where to park the car and whatever. So I was like, yeah, sure, all right. So I drove him there, outside this really, really posh hotel, right? It was winter.
I remember this story.
Yeah. And there was a few steps going up, like marble steps going up into this really grand hallway. So he gets dressed and he walks up. He tries, as you know what he's like, he'll try and climb stairs wearing these boots like this sort of size.
Yep.
Which no semi-sensible person would ever even consider. And he's like, I'm going to go up these marble steps that were like just slippery glass, basically. So I said, all right, I'll go up just in case first. I look back, he takes the first step, he's like, no, I'm good. Goes to take the next one, and he just, his legs go out underneath him. So I managed to catch him. Bear in mind, when he's in it, he's a big guy. So I'm holding him, just like, almost like we're doing the Dirty Dancing sort of thing.
Oh, you're lifting him up.
Holding him up. I'm like, right, this must look pretty good from anywhere else. I managed to drag him inside. As he stands up, twats the really expensive chandelier with the top of his horns, and you can see the staff all having a panic attack by this point, not knowing what to do with this giant fucking space marine who's been dragged inside and nearly took out their multi-thousand-pound chandelier.
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Funny.
David, you are a mad lad. Ranger Queen cosplay, dang it, Exorcist cosplay. See, Harry, I'm not that bad to spot for. Harry's like, damn it, Duffering, but it's like...
It's kind of cosplay related, I suppose, but...
It's totally cosplay related, that was awesome.
One of the fond memories that I definitely have is that we were doing a small gathering convention thing, and Terry English was there.
The absolute legend.
It was at that the Chinese that we go to at some point. Yeah. Terry English was there, and the two best parts from that whole weekend is one, we all stayed, and Terry actually stayed really late with us as well. And he's like, I don't normally stay this late, but you guys are all mental, so we're
he's a pie animal. I love him.
Yeah. And then he was like, right, that's it. I'm going. And I can't remember who asked, but I bet it was Dave. Anyway, he said, oh, would you mind if we have a look at your stuff whilst you're not here? And he went, as long as you don't break anything, sure, go ahead. And we kind of walked out, and we're all looking at each other like, oh, he's left his whole display here that we can play with. And we did. We played, and we all got dressed up, and we're hitting each other with swords. And even Terry, when he was there, I clearly remember at one point, there was me and a bunch of girls came in with Nerf guns and were just shooting the crap out of us. And me and Terry were like, right, he just passed me a massive shield. He took a shield. We both took swords and just started marching down the corridor with Terry English and his weaponry, just kind of stabbing people as we go. Oh, it was fantastic.
Honestly, when things like that happen, Terry English. Speaking of, well, I love when things like that happen. We were at the UK CGF, and I'm down chatting to Terry English. I go to his panel, we're chatting, whatever, and I'm talking to him because David was nice enough. David Angel introduced me to Terry at an event because I'm such a huge fan of Terry's. With Excalibur and all that. It's just like such an amazing. He's such an amazing armor smith. I was down there chatting to him and everything, and he was like, "Oh, hey, we're all going out for dinner tonight." And I was just like, "I know Lisa's told me that, me and her and a few other people are going out. Are you coming as well?" He's like, "Yeah, of course I'm coming. Of course I'm coming." I'm like, okay, just that's awesome. Like, went back up to the table. I was like, oh, by the way, Harry, we're going out to dinner tonight. It's like, oh, cool. Where are we going? And I was like, oh, Bella Italia. We're going to Bella Italia. I was like, oh, very, very cool. It's like, yeah, Lisa and a few other people are coming. And Carrie's like, oh, okay, cool. Oh, by the way, Terry English will be there. And Harry just stops and just looks. I'm like, yep. And we ended up sat across, like me and Harry sat across from each other, and Terry English is on the table. We're all chatting away, and then Terry comes over and he's chatting to us. He's got his arm around Harry and he's bantering with us.
He's so good.
And he's such a legend. And there's Harry just like leans forward and just goes, I didn't imagine like just chilling out with like a bunch of celebrities and a bunch of people who work here.
Yeah.
Just at Bella Italia. And I'm just like, by the way, Harry, this happens a lot. You're gonna have to get used to this.
Yeah.
Because it's really fun.
That same weekend that we did that with Terry, we were all sat having a meal with Spencer Wildling.
Oh yeah,
man. Right. So we're all having a meal. We're having a few Jaeger bombs and stuff like that, having a wicked time. Now he's obviously a big guy. Anyway, so his phone goes off, and says, "Oh yeah, sorry guys, I've got to get this." And he walks off, and he was gone for a fair while. And we're like, "Oh, I hope he's all right." And he came back in with a bunch of Jaeger bombs. There you go. And he said, "I've got to go. I can't really say why, but I got to go." And we were like, "Okay." So one for the road, bump, all had Jaeger bomb shots, and off he went. We only found out, quite a while later, that is the moment he got the call that he got the role as Darth Vader in Rogue One.
That's legendary.
Yeah, and we were sat there drinking Jaeger bombs with him at the time, and he came, like I say,
you had a Jaeger bomb with Darth Vader.
Yep. Yeah, we just didn't know it at the time. It was brilliant.
That's brilliant. Oh. We could sit here and name drop celebrities all night, I'm sure, because I've met a massive list of them. I love it, just being able to chill out with them, especially when you go to events and just like, oh yeah, but you try play it off as like it's totally cool.
I know. yeah. Like
but inside you're dying of cartwheels. Like, you're doing cartwheels and dying.
Terry Farrell, who plays Dax from Deep Space Nine. Oh yeah. This Star Trek convention, we were on our feet all day. It was bloody hard work. And on the Sunday, we were exhausted. And me and this other girl who was, we took our lunch break and we were sat in the back on the floor. We must have looked awful because we were so exhausted, just trying to stick a sandwich in our face. And out came Terry Farrell. And she went, "Oh, hi, guys." And came and sat with us. And we're looking at each other going, "Terry Farrell." And she was wonderful.
Aww.
Absolutely beautiful. So generous and just really thoughtful and asking us how we were and if we were having a night, lovely woman. But yeah, you can't really experience this unless you're in that kind of cosplay crowd, and you're really lucky, but it happens.
Ranger Creed said, Dovrig, you are the worst at containing excitement. I'm the worst at containing excitement, but I can still control myself around celebrities. Like, I don't just run up to them and scream at them. Like, I'll go up. Like, ask David when I met Terry English. I was very polite, shook his hand, I was very polite, very nodded sort of thing, and just like inside I'm just like doing cartwheels and just like, oh my god, this is insane. But I'm trying to keep chill. Like when I met Ernie Hudson, I met him twice. I did the photo shoot with him, and then I went to meet him at his signing table, and I was beyond. It was amazing. I was stuttering and stammering over myself. It was beyond. When I'm lost for words, that's when you know it's bad. It's why when I did the interview with Evil Ted, that I had 2 pages of typed out. I had sat down and typed out and read it out to myself to make sure that I didn't screw up, because I was just like, I'm gonna get this wrong otherwise. And like, if you watch it back, it's before the stream goes on, because I'm literally sat there like reading it out, making sure I got it right, because I wanted to just make sure that he knew like how much like I appreciated him being on my stream, and I asked him today whether he'd be on another stream, and he was absolutely, he absolutely did not mind. I'm really, really excited. I would love to have Evil Ted on another stream again. I think that'd be fantastic.
I mean, I gotta admit, as soon as you said he was on the stream, I was like, nervous.
You think that?
He's a legend. The guy is an absolute legend.
I told Desi and Harry, and they were just both like, "What the fuck? How?" I was just like, I don't know. I've been blessed, I guess. It was thanks to Nick Acock from Sneaky Zebra. Nick was nice enough to help me out and put me in touch with Ted. And because he had been on their stream, on the Sneaky Zebra stream, and I couldn't believe it. I watched the Sneaky Zebra stream with Evil Ted, and I was just like, that's so cool. And I asked him, how did you get him? Do you know him? He's like, yeah, we know him. And I'm like, I love that you're just so blasé about, like, yeah, we know him.
Yeah, we just know. We just know. Yeah.
I thought that was absolutely fantastic. And it was a pleasure. It was an absolute honor to have him on my stream, as it is to have everyone I've had on stream. It's been fantastic to have everyone on stream. Go on.
Got one to add.
Oh, go on.
One really good moment is when you manage to get yourself into a Sneak Easy video.
Oh, yeah!
That's always good.
Yeah. They were running off. They were both just sort of quite quickly walking. They were running off like that. And I'd been trying to find them all day. I've been on Twitter. I've been trying to find them. They were like, oh, we're here. And I was trying to find them where they were. I was like, where the hell are they? I was asking people, like random cosplayers and people I knew, like, have you seen Sneaky Zebra? They were like, oh, they were just here. And I'm like, damn it. And I'm just like trying to find them. And because I'm in the Space Marine, I was just like, I'm not going to catch up with them. They're going to be too quick for me. They're going to be filming. They film quite quickly, and then they're done, and they chat, and they leave. And I was just like, balls. So we're outside, and I'm just there, helmetless, just stood there, letting the breeze run through all the slots and where it can go through the Space Marine to cool down. And suddenly, there they are, the pair of them walking, and he's got his big camera. It's Nick and Gary, and I was just like, and I just literally went, Sneaky Zebra, and just started walking towards them. I just started, like, just in the suit, without the helmet, just stomped towards them. And they came over, and I was like, oh my god, and I was just like fanboying over them, telling them how much I love them, and how much they meant to me, and how much I love their work, because I love their music videos. Because their music videos are so positive. Their music videos are so... They every time I watch their music videos, even the one that I'm not in, when I watch their music videos, the music is amazing. And I get hair, like the hairs on my arms stand on end and on and run up my back because it's so cool. Their videos are amazing. I really hope he's still in chat. If he's not, then I'll have to point him out to this later and just be like, I know, I think you're awesome. But... they put me in a video, and what's really amazing is Gary's behind me. Like, you see me stomping, and there he is walking behind camera, and I absolutely love it. And they put me in, and one take, they were just like, yeah, let's do it. They were like, we practiced once, and then we went over, and he's like, okay, go, and we did it, and I was in. And they were like, just so you know, not everyone makes it into the video, because we have so many, and I was like, that's okay, that's okay. The whole time, I was just like this. The whole time, just constantly. And then when the video came out, I was sat there watching it like this, just sat there like, and then suddenly it goes like, she's drinking. The character from the same people who did Futurama, what's it called? It's set in medieval times, but it's really cool. Damn it, I'm getting overexcited and I'm forgetting the name. The same people who did Futurama.
Hang on, wait, what? That's it.
Disenchanted, that's the one. The main character from Disenchanted is drinking next to a tree and telling him, like, wait, and is drinking, and then stops, and then burps, right? And then it cuts to me stomping towards the camera, and I'm like, there I am! Like less than a second, but I'm in it.
Yeah,
really,
it doesn't matter, does it? Yeah,
it's just matter. Like, I had a Mike Wazowski moment where, it's just like the sticker's over his face, but I'm on the cover of a magazine. But I was literally there in the video, and I was beyond happy. I exploded upstairs. I was like, yes! I was like shedding everywhere, and I was just like, I'm in this.
Actually, I don't know if you remember or not. I'm sure. We've talked about my history before, me and you. Do you remember me saying to you? That I once went for a job with the BBC to make props. I went through the first two, and then as they brought me down, they were inviting me down to Wales where they do the Doctor Who for the third and final interview, and that's when I found out Izzy was going to be born, and so I ended up not going for it. All right, I finally, after all these years, got to make a prop that's being used for the BBC.
Legendary.
And I did it as a partnership with someone that Jackie introduced me to, a chap called Dennis from Temple Props, based in Ireland, and he does some really cool stuff.
Are you allowed to tell, or is it a DNR or not DNR? Sorry.
No.
What's it?
Yes,
what's it called? Is it DNR? Is it DNR?
I
don't know what it is.
It's not. no, it's not anything top secret or anything.
Oh, good.
But basically, it's the only working replica prop taser.
NDA? Oh, it's NDA. I said DNR.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know what
not.
DNR is. NDA, non-disclosure agreement, is the one I was thinking of. That's the one.
No, it's not. But it's a working taser.
Nice.
Or a prop taser, anyway.
Yeah.
So I worked out all the mechanism inside. So when you pull the trigger, two little arms hit and pew, launch the taser prongs.
Yeah. So apparently DNR is do not resuscitate. Oops, I didn't know that.
Resuscitate.
I didn't know that. My bad. Oops.
I didn't want to say.
No. NDA is what I was. Yeah, there's a bit of a just a bit of a difference there. Yeah, I had no idea. I have had to sign an NDA once. I think I've had to sign an NDA.
Yeah,
once.
I've had to do it a few times.
Yeah, no, that was when I was doing security on a movie because the celebs were on set and they were doing something, and apparently it was a big thing that was happening, and I wasn't allowed to talk about it. So I was like, okay, I will.
No, I've had to do a few, but it was a long time ago now. Doing stuff for like NASA. Which you can't say what, but I was doing some things that involve NASA things.
Ooh, that I like.
Yeah.
I'll have to talk to you off stream at some point. No.
Honestly, it wasn't really that exciting, but still, it's something I had to do. And
Still cool. I mean, I'd love to do something for NASA. No idea what they'd want. Excuse me, can you build a space marine spacesuit? I'm like, what? Can you build one that goes over the space marine, like the actual spacesuit? I'm like, sure, I guess. Don't know how it's going to work.
No.
But I'd love to know what's the most uncomfortable cosplay you've ever owned. Don't tell me it's behind me.
Actually, it wasn't.
Oh, okay, good. I was going to say.
I mean, that one wasn't great, but after a couple of adjustments, it was wearable. Probably the worst one I ever had was the second set of Spartan armor that I made. Right.
The second set.
Yep. The first set I used, I made, and it was only for my birthday, and I only used it once. I spent 3 months making it, and I used it once.
Man,
the second one I made, I used a stronger type of fiberglass. And bear in mind, I've never used this stuff before, and I didn't know what I was doing. So I did the old style Pepakura paper version. You know how intricate that is?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I made a full set of Spartan armor using that. I tried to body filler it, but I didn't have the tools or the space to do it, and it was okay, but anyway, fiberglass on the inside. Wearing this thing just shredded my skin to pieces because I didn't have all the edges all nicely tucked away and stuff like that. Oh, I learned lessons from it, but I wore that a few times, and when I took it off, literally all my neck was just carved open. I had big cuts down my arms, around my ribs. Yeah, it wasn't great.
Sounds
and that was like wearing 2 layers underneath as well as padding, and it just went straight through it. Bits of fiberglass stuck in your arm, and
the things we do for cosplay, eh?
I know, right?
Things we do for cosplay.
At least with foam, you don't have that.
No, you just sweat buckets with foam.
You sweat buckets in the air.
This one's going to be quite an interesting one for you because I don't know the answer for sure, but it would be quite cool to sort of hear it from the horse's mouth, if you will.
Okay.
How important is accuracy to you? Like when it comes to like prop making or even cosplay making, whether it be for yourself or a customer.
Yeah. Now, as far as accuracy goes, when I try and make something that's already an existing thing, I try and make it as accurate as I can. Anything. Obviously, I took loads of screenshots, really zoomed in the best I can, and I make it as close as I can. I do feel that my painting skills need improving.
Well, I've seen your painting skills. I mean, that sword you showed us earlier, I mean, your painting skills aren't exactly bad.
No, they're not bad, but I know a lot of people who are much, much better than I am.
I need to make mine better. Like, holy crap, mine is awful right now. I need to way better at painting.
I did a few projects for a friend of mine called Gemma Lapelli in Guernsey, and the first thing I did for her that she finished was the Witcher. You've seen Netflix Witcher?
Yeah, I've seen the Witcher.
The gin bottle.
Oh yeah.
Gin. All right, so I just 3D printed it, sent it to her, and she sent me back what she'd done with it, and I was like, God damn, your painting is so good.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, she's really good. So I always feel my painting lets me down a little bit, but I try and make it as accurate as possible.
Carnifus has realistic Spartan blood effects, by the way.
yeah, it wasn't pretty.
Sorry, I didn't see that.
But as far as anyone else goes, it really doesn't bother me at all. It's not like I'm some kind of, oh, you've got to be screen accurate or it's not cosplay, or not in the slightest. I'm happy to see anything. I don't particularly like those kind of shop bought joke shop type of superhero ones with the massive muscly undersuits. But if that's what you got, that's what you got. Doesn't bother me in the slightest.
Oh, awesome! There you go. Ranger Krieg has just shared your bottle from your Ultima Props page, so shared the photo of that.
That's handy.
Yeah, no, honest to God, having mods is the best. Ranger Krieg and Dragonheart are the absolute bomb when it comes to.
Yeah. So,
also, that Djinn bottle is epic. That paint job is badass. That paint job is badass. Yeah. That is awesome.
Yeah. And I've seen the other things she's working on at the moment, which aren't public yet. I'm just like,
trust me, I'm the same. I wish my painting skills were better. I mean, there's stuff I've looked at and the stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not terrible, but it's not. There's stuff that I do look at it and I'm like, I could do better with that. That's why at some point, if I ever build a prop, I would love to prime it and then send it to somebody who's really good at painting and pay them to do it. But
can make a difference.
Because honestly, like the paint job you did on the Power Fist, man alive. People think the fingers are metal. Like, people have seen photos and be like, are those fingers like metal? They thought that, because you know where you rubbed off the paint and made it look like it's, and then painted it. You painted it with like a chrome, but it looks so real. It looks insanely real. People have asked me if they're made from like aluminium. The people have been like, oh my God, are those metal? I'm like, no, they're 3D printed. I'm like, holy crap.
It's always part of the, I mean, I have shared it with you before, how my general way of painting stuff is always, depending on what color, but generally gloss black, gloss black, then the base coat, then any sort of other solid block colors, and then you always go with a dark wash, and then you look at it, it looks really dirty and dark, and it's just like, I don't like it. But then it's going up with the highlights using either,
and then the dry brushing,
dry brushing with either the chrome spray paint, which does eat through brushes though, unfortunately, or I've got some rub and buff, like a chrome.
I love rub and buff. Rub and buff is amazing.
Yeah. But I do find it wears off.
Ted put me onto rub and buff.
Yeah, I generally find that it rubs off as well though, which is
does it? Good. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
that I've not had that, but
well, my gold seems to anyway. The silver seems okay, but and then you go up with the highlights and then add any kind of like mud splats and things on top of that, you know. But it's only until the end when you step back at it and look and go, it's okay. So accuracy, I wish I was more accurate. And it is important. I try and get it as close as I can, but it's not beyond everything. It's as long as you have a good time, as long as you enjoy it. It's the main thing. I've also
have a good night, Dragonheart. My one of my mods is off to bed. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely night. Even sorry. Hope you've had a good day.
It is getting quite late, actually.
There you go. Also, a link to our Discord. As well. Thank you so much.
In the words of Qui-Gon Jinn, there's always a bigger fish.
Yes, there's always a bigger fish.
And no matter how good you think you are or not, there's always going to be someone who is better.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean don't strive for better. Just strive to be as good as you can be. But it doesn't matter how good you are. There's always going to be someone better. So just be happy with what you are and just improve your own skills. You're not competing against someone else. Not really. I mean, obviously, if you're doing it professionally.
If you're doing a cosplay competition, you are technically, but
yeah.
If you're just doing a cosplay for the sake of wearing and having fun, then no, you're not really.
Don't beat yourself up because someone is better than you. Strive towards getting better. Strive to learn new skills and things. Great. Self-improvement is a massive thing.
Absolutely.
But don't beat yourself up that someone is, does a better paint job or gets a smoother seam, or learn from everything you do.
Well, one last question for you here, and also if Dragonheart is still in chat, if you could stay for a couple of minutes, if you can. I've just got some things I need to do at the end, and you guys are part of it. Where can we find you online?
Right. I generally only use my Facebook page primarily, which is Ultima Props on Facebook. I do have an Instagram account, which you can contact me on, but I don't update it as often as I should. But at least Facebook, you can definitely get me there.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Obviously, with those links in chat there from Ranger of Creed Cosplay, that's absolutely wonderful. I want to just say a massive thank you. I genuinely appreciate that you jumped on. I know you kept saying at the start that I was scraping the bottom of the barrel, but you had the most views I've had in some time. I know Evil Ted and stuff. I had a bunch of viewers with him, but I'm not sure what we had already in terms of viewers. But honestly, it's been fantastic. That's no problem, Dizzy. If you have to go, that's not a problem. Have a wonderful night, and what I'll do is I'll message you after the stream. But to have all my friends be on the stream, it's been fantastic to have you guys. It's been great all in all. I have got a bunch of thanks I'd like to do from season
Just
1.
Before you do,
oh,
just before you do,
yeah,
I would like to do one or two very, very quick thanks, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead, please do.
First, thank you to my partner Jackie, who has been providing me with all sorts of props from the side, and that's just tonight, let alone everything else she does for me. I couldn't do this without her. And also a massive thanks to you, not only for having me on, also thank you for agreeing to do the task that I asked of you, or we asked of you, and I can't wait to be able to, see you next year and go through with it.
That's not a problem at all. I'm genuinely fine with it. I'm really, really happy. Thank you so much for that. That really means a lot. Honestly, that genuinely means a lot. That's absolutely awesome. Speaking of thanks and stuff like that, this is what I have as well. Genuinely, thanks to everyone in chat for starters. Everyone who has been coming to my streams since I started. I know I see regulars all the time. I also want to say thank you to my mods, Dragonheart, Desiree, and also Ranger of Creed Cosplay, and that's Harry Stone. Without them, without Harry and Desi, I don't think I could keep my streams as streamlined as they have been, because they share the links in chat. When I so much as grab my mouse and click on the sort of the chat box on the thing, I can see the CPU usage rockets up, because this is a very old computer. The OBS doesn't like running Zoom and Streamlabs at the same time. So it's nice to have someone who can run off and get links and come back and post them in chat and go and grab the links. And I do send them a notepad document with all the links from, when you send me your links and everything. I put them in chat, and it's absolutely awesome to have that. Hey, Pages Pooches! Thank you so much. Pages Pooches just subscribed to Tier 1. This is a currently on a 2-month streak. Thank you so much. Yes, Pages Pooches, I want to meet you in person too. I genuinely want to meet so many people that I haven't met yet in person.
Duffrig is lovely.
You'll hear me before you see me, is what I've been told.
True.
Which is absolutely fantastic, because I love being loud. Louder the better. I like loud. Loud is just fine. So obviously, thank you to Ranger of Creed Cosplay. Thank you to Desi for being an absolutely awesome mods. And not only that, but thanks for being amazing friends. I know Harry's one of my best friends, and he's helped me out throughout the year. Last year, doing all my cosplay stuff at almost every event. Literally almost every event. It was insane. But I also have thanks to do in the exact order they happened. Season 1, I'd like to thank B Cosplay, Ranger of Creed Cosplay, the 601st, XV22, Dave Sinclair, Sneaky Zebra, the Somerset Cosplayers, Impatient Cosplayer, Unity Paints, DC Theo Models, Caxor Cosplay, Shooting Cosplayers, and also the legendary Evil Ted Smith. From Season 2, I'd like to thank Nerd Princess, Alfred Windrunner, Lady Venom, Ginger Nuts, John Robertson, Casual Props, Lady Valentine, Atom Cosplay, Zeora Cosplay, Exeter Cosplay, Aborealke, No Name Cosplay, Mr. Ben Cosplay, Warp Raven Cosplay, and also the lovely Ultima Props, that is Dave Damon, for my last stream of Season 2, Electric Boogaloo. I genuinely can't tell you guys how much it means to me when it comes to the support that you've shown me since I've started streaming. I hit affiliate on Twitch. I hit affiliate. People were telling me affiliate's going to be a bit difficult to get to because you need this and you need this many hours, you need this many followers, you need this, that, and the other. 2 weeks. It took 2 weeks. Almost 2 weeks exactly. It was like 2 weeks and a day. It took 2 weeks for you guys to come from Instagram, Facebook, my friends list in general, and just swarm to Twitch and just go nuts by clicking follow and sharing my link and supporting the chat and coming to all my streams, whether they be chill out streams, prop making streams. When I built the bolt pistol, I know I've only done the one, but I need to do some other bits, and I also need to do some painting streams I did with Dragonheart as well when I did my my las gun. Honestly, without your support, I wouldn't be doing what I do now. And I say that a lot, but it's true. Without Dave Damon, without David Roth, without Harry, without so many people, I wouldn't be doing what I do now. And it's genuinely a massive thanks to all of you for doing it, for just being awesome. I know it's only, some people are like, it's only clicking follow, but yeah. But we've been going for 2 hours and 45 minutes, and there are people who have been in the chat since literally as soon as I clicked start stream. We were a couple of minutes in, and there were people in the chat already, other than my mods, obviously. And that means a lot. It's so happy to, makes me incredibly happy to see people who just jump into the chat. They're ready, they're excited, they want to see what's happening on the stream, they want to see who I'm talking to. And it genuinely means a lot. So I just want to say thank you to everyone, including Dave Damon, for jumping on for my last stream of Season 2 Electric Boogaloo. That's pretty much it for the thanks. I want to say thanks to everyone. That's pretty much it. And I did try and get as many names as I could and get as many people down as I could. And I definitely wanted to thank everyone from Season 1 and 2, because without those guys, I'd be pretty screwed for guests, because it would just be me sat down rambling for 2 hours to myself, which wouldn't really work. So there's that. In terms of streams, the Q&A streams, as you know it, are ending for this year. Season 3, which we haven't got a little pun bit for. Season 1, no pun. Season 2, Electric Boogaloo. Season 3 hasn't got one yet, but we'll work that out when we get to it. There will be streams. I have plans for doing painting streams and stuff. I have plans for doing chill out streams. There's a lot of stuff I'd like to do. Hopefully in the future, when work gets a bit better and I start getting a bit more of an income, I'll be able to upgrade the computer that I'm using down here in the workshop, which means I'll be able to do more in terms of streaming. I might be able to actually get some better webcams and things like that, which would be absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Casual Props, for 2 months. Thank you so much. Here, have some money. You legend. Thank you so much. But honestly, thank you to everyone. I've said thank you enough now. I'm going to shut up. But genuinely, I love you guys. So, from... the Borg have arrived. But genuinely, from me and the lovely Dave Damon of Ultima Props, thank you so much for coming. We are going to be raiding someone. We have a choice. We can either raid Live Action Pixel, Lady Venomous. We can either raid Live Action Pixel or Lady Venomous. So who would you like to raid? Live Action Pixel or Lady Venomous? I'll let the chat decide. I'm not going to do a vote thing on it, but it'd be really, really cool to... I need to get you on my stream. That would be really fun, but I'm really bad at games and stuff. Like streaming them. Streaming them at least. I just play them myself and just have a bit of fun. But thank you so much, Mr. Titan 40K. Thank you so much for coming. But yeah, if you guys want to let me know, Live Action Pixel or Lady Venomous, we can do a raid. I think that'd be really cool. I love raiding people so that they show I show them appreciation. Let's see.
Awesome.
And also, let me know when you have another barbecue, because obviously...
Oh, absolutely.
We
actually,
come down to yours all the time and have barbecue. I love having your barbecues.
I don't know if it's something that interests you or not, but we were gonna do it a few months back, but obviously can't. We're gonna do like a medieval type D&D and sword fighting and barbecue and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that would be amazing. I'll have to bring down some of my, I'll bring down my LARP chainsaw that I used to use for the Iron Warrior and use that because
Yeah.
that's LARP safe. You can hit people with that. So.
Yeah. I've got some proper steel. My steel armor that's arrived is beautiful.
Oh, that steel armor you have is beautiful. We didn't end up talking about that, but then, again, it's not like this is the only time I'll have you on. I want to have a bunch of people repeat and get them on again.
Right. We're gonna have some dinner now anyway,
so awesome. Right. Well, thank you again. I'm gonna end the stream there. I'll raid Lady Venomous. So if you guys want to hang out and raid with Lady Venomous, that would be absolutely awesome. There's 15 of you. Thank you so much again, and we'll talk to you all again soon. Bye for now. From Season 2 of Boogaloo.